Alrighty, well, here we are. Down a little bit more. Okay, I think everything is queued and ready to roll here. Let's go ahead and swap it on over. And how's it going? Oh my god, actual face cam this time. Wow. What's up? I can't get enough Red Bull in my life. This is like my second can, and it's only been like not right. Oh god, where am I on? Oh, this is Valorant? I'm not worried about Valorant. Boom, here we go. Looking on wrong things. I bumped the mouse. Anyways, I got me and my drink. We've got a VOD to review, and this time I have Twitch Turbo, so we're gonna actually fully watch a VOD this time. So BGM we're not gonna have on today. I've got my little note sheet here on the side, of course. So over here, we're gonna basically be taking notes, looking at how the whole thing went. We'll start with probably my first game here with Ghost. I might do the second game too, but it kind of depends on how long it is. I don't want to be forever because it is a long freaking broadcast. It was a really sick match too, but unfortunately, these matches can go for a long time, so we'll see how long my voice can handle with reviewing it. It's in theory not shoutcasting, but it's really just kind of like moment by moment, kind of tearing things apart. So it should be pretty good. Some details about this one. This is a for fun tournament. It's not super high intensity, not like trying to go pro or anything. This is just a, we like playing, you know, they like due process. They want people to cast for it. And I was like, hey, I'll sign up for that. Like, it's been ages. I'll cast your due process. And they even got Ghost back from a long time ago, back in, I think, the Winter Major back in 2020. It was like, it's been a few years. And I think after that he left, or I don't know what happened. But ultimately, he was out of the picture, and he's back for this one. So, if you were there for that, you may notice that, or may remember that I was doing this. I was prepping for it. I was planning on doing a side broadcast where I'd basically have a POV of me on the side, so you could see kind of what it was like, hear what it's like. This format of how we made it all and how it kind of happened was very non-standard for how traditionally the due process stuff has been run. Normally with the due process league, kind of December who runs it, we'll have all the production people before the broadcast start. They'll be chilling in there, they're getting their stuff ready, and then you kind of arrive 15-30 minutes early or whatever, find a time that you're ready to go, and then you simply hang out, get your stuff lined up, mic lined up in like 10 minutes or so, and at that point you're just kind of chilling there waiting to go. You get counted in, you start your broadcast and go from there. This was a lot more kind of like, because the games were a little bit, you know, the games weren't bad, but they were sometimes fast and slow, so you'd have to fill in gaps occasionally, which means it was very haphazard. It was, and they're also having production issues too. They're having some stream crashes and stuff from the heat, so unfortunately it made it a little tough for them to do that. With all those kind of issues, I was like, you know what, I'm just not even going to bother trying to like complicate things by having a hot mic. Because having a hot mic where you basically have an always live mic to the air means you can't really talk shit. Like, you can't talk crap about teams. You can't say, man, that team sucks, or wow, that play was rude. You can't be doing that crap if you're a hot mic. If you're off the air, you can say what you want. No one's going to hear it, right? But if you're saying it on air, you're always on air, which means everything you say, everything you do is always online, which there's usually a separation between online and offline. And the conduct, as such, is usually different, believe it or not. People are different when they're online versus, or they're streaming versus not. So with the way the format was going, it was just like really apparent to me that it was kind of a haphazard setup, and I didn't want to try and complicate things further, so I just straight up didn't broadcast my side. In the future, if it is one that I can broadcast, I definitely will. Definitely I'll need their permission, and I mean, even then, you'll really just see what we saw before, right? Let me see if I have the thing still set up, or if it's not too busted. Yeah, we'll go ahead and transition over there. You'll just see this, and on the side will be the webcam. I don't have it. The phone's turned off right now, so you can't see the view. But you just see my camera on the left, and you would just see this. Maybe I would show my main screen if I really wanted to, but one sec. There we go. It was one of those like maybe things where I like maybe I'd show my view, but because I was using I'm not going to name the software, but I didn't want to have my URL and stuff shown and have my freaking view taken over, right? Because it'd be really easy to do that and have a bad time. So in order to just simplify things, I just didn't do that myself. So apologies if you're looking forward to that. I don't think anyone was, but in the future, if I can, I will. And I may not announce it. It may just be one of those like, oh, I'm live suddenly. What's this? Oh shit. or I'll announce the VOD of it or something. Because I do want to record one of those again. It'd be really fun to do. But we'll see. We'll see. I might just put it up on YouTube or something, because putting it on air as it's happening is a little bit sketch. And if it is bad or something said, I can just either clip it out or just not upload that. It's not a big deal. But if it's live, it's live. Like, it's whatever is going up is going up. You don't have a choice. So, I keep freezing my nose in this freaking ice cube. Anyways, so Make Plans, Shoot Mans. This was one of the Redux. Oh, it's basically the Redux Network's kind of own esports tournaments that they're running. They had a little group of them in a house, all working together, managing the event, managing the broadcast. They had multiple observers even. It was a pretty complicated setup. Worked pretty well. One of the issues early on that we found was a interesting conundrum, if you will. Where's my tech freezing up? One of the conundrums early on was they wanted us to use just the... So normally when you're shoutcasting games, you'll have your own POV of the game. So like you'll see... This is... Right now this is just a... Oh, I don't think my mouse is even showing. Oh my god. Hold on. I'm actually dumb. I wanted to show my mouse so I could actually point at things. Because if you can't see what I'm pointing at when I'm talking about it, it makes it a little hard. Should be capturing cursor. I may have to click in the window. There it is. So sometimes when you're on a VOD, right, or you're watching a stream, you'll see the main stream view, right? But casters usually get their own POVs so I can see the entire match. So like when I'm casting, especially for due process, I mainly just have the map view up. I don't have the individual like POVs of people, because I want to focus on everything that's going on to understand the totality of everything, not just the little thing that you see as a viewer. Because my job is to make sure you're understanding what's going on and not just sitting there like, oh, I'm just casting one of the sides. Nice, got that. My views, the thing that I'm trying to do as a shoutcaster is to make sure you understand the match, understand what's happening in totality, not just the single moment-to-moment, like, single-player POV, but it's actually the entirety of the match. So as such, I like to make sure I have an entire map view instead of going to one-by-one cams, which means if you have only one, and because we were on like a weird special branch for due process, because I didn't have a POV, that means I was relying on the stream POV, which could be good. To cast the entirety of it, though, would be impossible since you have to see everything. But you can't see everything if you're just looking through the stream POV, which is just like, sometimes you'll have map view, of course, and you're sometimes going to have that wide view. But other times you want to zoom in on the content, zoom in on the fighting. And if you're doing that, yeah, I can cast over your individual gameplay, but like you're not going to see the totality of the entire match. And that was one of our first kind of challenges that came up, which, it's not a big deal. Basically, the person who was doing, because they had, well, the thing is, they had 3 actual people there, one broadcaster, 1 producer, 2 observers. They just showed the observer POV. It was not a big deal, which is awesome. That's not always the thing that can happen when you have just like a one-man band. Usually, if it's a one-man band, I'm doing map POV, and I'm producing it, I'm doing a map POV, and I'm casting it, which is a lot. But I'm doing 3 things. I can't even count. I can barely move this finger. 3 fingers. 3 things, right? 3 different jobs at once. If I'm doing 3, I'm going to do just what I can, which means map POV, I'm not going to go to 1v1s freaking with the camera to cast over it and produce. I'm just going to keep it simple. And I'm not going to sit there and transition back and forth between like, oh, score here, score here. That's way more than I can do, personally, in my opinion. But anyways, I say that because I have a teeny bit of a production experience, as in I literally just do out streams for tournaments, but not. I am nowhere near professional as these guys. These guys actually are legit, and you'll see in how they do their stuff. It's very legit. So long explanation, long-winded thingy-mabobber over. Let's talk about it. Let me just really quick verify everything else is looking good here. Boom. I'm just going to check one quick thingy and then we'll start. Just want to make sure nothing's looking too out of place. Good. One moment. Mute tab. I just need to check one more thing. Verify it all looks good. Okay, it's looking great. Awesome. Just wanted to make sure... any bitrate issues. I've been having some problems with my internet as of late, as you do, Anyways, so we are going to review the VOD. So what does that mean? It means a lot of starts, a lot of stops, and ultimately note-taking is really important with the VOD. Now this is to be clear, it's the Redux Rumble Make Plans Shoot Mans. That's the name of the event. by the Redux Network. So it's it's the hold on. I already forgot the name. Oh my god. It's kind of one of those pain in the ass names that's like bridging on. It's not, usually it's like the let's say the old league, right? The due process league. This is the group stage of the due process league. Ugh, this week is kicking my butt. Oh my god. All right, let me pull up, let me roll it back, run it up here, get the actual official as I was added name. Crew 25. Redux Rumble, make plans, shoot mans. That's the name of the event. I mentioned that because when I first started this, I think last time, I realized I was not saying it right. Afterward, as I was saying, I was like, "Oh shit, I got it wrong." Fuck. I was pissed. I was self-pissed. But anyways, as such, we're gonna go ahead and mute the music. Shut up, music. We'll unmute the VOD here. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth because we're gonna have to discuss everything that happened, if it was good or bad, what that means for me to practice on or to notice, to work on as skills. It's a review, so that means it's gonna take time. So in any case, let's go ahead and get started. Let's actually begin. Ah, my face, so cold. Just gonna pour my drink here. Here we go. Here we go.
Welcome to.
Bro, there's no. They did not do any filtering of the audio. It was just raw, good old broadcast headset sound, but they did not do any kind of audio filtering on that. But anyways, okay.
To the Rumble of Redux. This is
The Rumble of Redux.
Make Plans, Shoot Mans, presented by the Redux Network.
Freaking before the broadcast started, Ghost was like, "Yo, you should add on like a delay, like Redux Network," or like. Yeah, that did not turn out as good as I thought it was.
Work here. I am joined once again by Ghost.
Sounds like such a tryhard.
It's been a long time, buddy. How you doing?
That's okay. So in totality, it's not the worst thing ever. At least we got the name somewhat out there. By the Redux Network. A little all over the fucking place. To be fair, I haven't casted in a long time, so it's been a while for me. And you can tell that I'm pretty fucking rusty. But hey, you know what? You ain't gonna, part of busting off the rust. I can't even talk. Part of breaking the rust is sometimes making a bit of a whiff. In totality, it's not the worst sounding ever. You've got a somewhat complete statement. I got the name fucking wrong, so it's kind of I'm an idiot. But in any case, not too bad. But how does Ghost reply to this?
Doing good, man. Nice to be back.
Pretty clean, nothing really to interact with. Just sort of a flat answer. God damn it! Supposed to have a noise again for that. Fuck.
It's been an amazing set of matches we've seen today. A lot of interesting battles back and forth. Some wipes to the floor. Some other.
I'm noticing I'm talking really fast. Still, like, I mean, I usually talk very quickly. When I'm casting, I talk very quickly. But that's too fast.
The ones that were pretty close back and forth here, but now the semifinal coming up here, it's going to be one hell of a match. I'm excited.
This I thought was really clever. It was just cringe. It was just cringe.
Are you excited?
Do you see this face?
Yeah.
This face is like this motherfucker just did this. He's like, man, this fucking guy. All right.
Some wipes to the floor. Some other ones that were pretty.
So a meme shit posting aside.
Welcome to.
Doing good, man. Nice to be back.
I don't know what this expression is supposed to mean. I don't know. I'm not good with facial expressions on broadcast because I usually just don't use a face cam. So I'm always like, and it didn't turn out very good. All right. Anyways,
It's been an amazing set of matches we've seen today. A lot of interesting battles back and forth. Some wipes to the floor. Some other ones that were pretty
some wipes to the floor. What does that mean?
close back and forth here, but now the semifinal coming up here, it's going to be one hell of a match. I'm excited. Are you excited?
So, okay. Let's tear this apart. So we had matches that were wiped to the floor. We had matches that were close. We're now entering the semifinals. Are you ready? I mean, it's not bad in total, right? It pretty much covers all the bases. It's just very poorly worded. My voice is already gone. Anyways, yeah, it's just kind of all over the place.
You know, just like the glasses flip, there's one thing that I just can't get away from, and that's due process. Every invite, every match, and especially some of the matches today, it's just been, there's been a couple flops. You've seen a couple, but
So I should sing this role. I think I was supposed to be the action, but Ghost ended up kind of doing a little bit of both. We were kind of, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a mix thing or whatnot. I think I was supposed to be action, but he was supposed to be the color. So he's the one with all the smart stuff. I'm the guy that just kind of shouts a lot and pretends to sound like I know what I'm doing in this role, in this kind of a setup here. So there we go.
there's also been some really good close matches. I tell you what,
So now he has the stats pulled up from what he wrote down.
Scrubin versus Gnomes, Scrubin versus Miss versus Gnomes. You know, we're gonna get there, but hopefully, the match we're about to see.
Dude, Gnomes were like shit on the entire tournament. Everyone's like, man, Gnomes are gonna win this. It's gonna be easy, you know, Fungi and Friends, they got this. And then, in case you didn't know, Fungi and Friends is basically previously like the top tier team. Like they were the goats. They were the ones expected to win this 100% without question. They were just like they were favored to win, straight up. They were just favored to win. Everyone's like Gnomes, no one's gonna beat like Fungi and Friends. How are they gonna lose this? And then they proceeded to lose it. And I think to this day, everyone's still kind of shocked at what happened and went like, how could this have happened? How did you let this happen? Because frankly, it shouldn't have happened. Like it was just kind of a misplay on all sides. Impressive in some ways, but also confusing in others. But anyways, beside the point.
See, it's Onu versus Eclipse.
I thought it was Onu, not Onyu, but hey, it's big.
Those both teams did a phenomenal. I was getting to watch some of them on the mainstream. I was kind of lurking around, leeching off of some of the streamers, getting to see them back and forth. They have been clawing tooth and nail. Now, thankfully.
So he does a good job explaining kind of what we just saw previously. It was great work.
Not to say that I'm sounding biased here, but match A is going to be obviously Onu versus Eclipse. We're going to be casting that on the mainstream. And then match B is going to be Gnomes versus Fungi with Friends. So really, we're going to get to find out who's going to be fighting Fungi and
Also, nose breathes. I can hear it I'm like especially attuned to hearing like mic sounds from my own side, and especially on broadcast when you hear people like or God damn it. It drives me up the walls. It's not that it's necessarily bad, it's just one of those things that's like very, very annoying, you know? Like even now I can see it still happening. There we go. Alright. Cool, I fixed my own.
Friends here for the finals.
Oh, that's a pretty big prediction there. Do you think it's gonna?
Fungi and Friends for the final prediction? Yeah, that's a pretty easy call. I think everybody in chat everybody in that chat would have probably agreed.
And then match B is going to be Gnomes versus Fungi with Friends. So really, we're going to get to find out who's going to be fighting Fungi and Friends here for the finals.
Oh, that's a pretty big prediction there. Do you think it's gonna hold up after we see this match today?
Seiko R5. Oh no, is that the Seiko? Yeah, the Seiko has the block strap. That's my that's my first mechanical watch actually.
And after we see this first little bit here,
Yeah,
you think
kinda.
the Fungi and Fung are gonna win this? You're already calling it. That's wow.
We're both like fighting each other at this point. We should be working like it should be a 1-2, 1-2. I'm kind of answering things, but I'm also interpreting it as he's saying it. Now this could be Discord delay, because frankly, sometimes when you're hearing things, someone will tell you what's going on as you're hearing it, and you're responding to what they're saying as you're kind of talking. So they're kind of like, instead of it being, you know, one to this side, you know, here to here to here to here to here, where it's kind of ping-ponging, they're kind of like, I'm answering it, he's answering it, then I'm answering it again, and he's answering it. So it's sort of like, that's kind of what's going on here.
Wow.
I've seen Nakazo, I've seen Sachi play on their free time. Those guys are just absolute units.
Absolute units.
Yeah.
So
They don't put up double-digit kills, you know. They do that casually. I can do that when I'm like cranked out of my mind. Those guys do it like it's
cranked
nothing. So
out of his mind.
Hey, upsets happen.
Hey.
You know, my heart goes out to the Gnomes, but the fun guy with friends, they really are some fun guys. They kind of game, but thankfully we get to
They
hopefully
kinda
see
game.
Onu with Eclipse. But before we do that, want to give a quick shout out to the
Yes, that.
production team.
You want to give give a shit? Oh god, you can tell this is definitely a little bit of an amateur hour performance, but you know what? That's the fun part of these tournaments. It's for fun. At the end of the day, it is for fun. So hold on, let me just. I have light mode up top there, so now you can actually see my eyes. Kind of. Hold on. There we go. Now we're blocking it. Yeah. A little bit of a misspeak there. So far, his color commentary on the overall match and teams and predictions has been fantastic. Again, Gnomes were not favored to win this at all. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to be freaking fatal, Fungi and Friends sweeping the entire way to the end and sweep. No, it was called a Fungi sweep pretty early on by everybody because the lineup was the best players in the game before the thing kind of crumbled and fell apart. And everyone got burned out and quit. So before that burnout and quit, Fungi and Friends, the lineup there, were undefeated. They literally never lost a match until today. When Gnomes took it seriously, played their games, did it well. It's been banging. So this is game 2. Okay, I don't know if what's his name? I did totally just forget that. Wow. So this is game 2. Game 1 was with me and Pion. I've been casting with him for a while, but his style is very kind of, I'd say forward, but he's a very his presence, at least especially on air, he's very much, he likes to be in the lead role, and it can be tough to kind of work with that if you're not used to it, and for what he likes, right? Because he definitely wants to take control, kind of be in position, and then he'll kind of like, he'll take the ball and then throws it to you, and then you take it and you throw it back and he wants it back. So it's a very kind of like 1 to 2 kind of thing. It's not like it's not a flow between two states. It's more like it's like a light switch, on or off. It's not really like, there's no like, it's not like a dial where you can kind of tune it, where it's like, okay, this person and this person and this person, and it kind of works together. It's more like just a 1 2 1 2. So that's people's style, and that's how people work sometimes. So I don't have a problem with it. I'm used to it. I know a lot of people, if you hear it, you're always like,
gamers keeping this thing going.
Oh shit!
Look
It's
at
the
those
production
absolute
team.
units.
Woo!
My favorite is the
Let's
guy in
go.
the chair doing his best. He's the real champion of it, and he's already gone. We have
And he's
taken
out of
out.
here.
Mods,
Oh
find
shit!
him
The
some
police!
Guantanamo. It's an absolute
Oh
rave.
no!
That was a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Not the production team's cringe. No more cringe from me. But like, this is a fun tournament after all. Shouldn't be taking it too seriously.
Oh man!
And we just drool all over the microphone.
Fantastic. Having a great time. And that's indeed what we're all here to do. We're all having a good time, and I'm excited for this upcoming match here. This has just been an amazing match, amazing battle back and forth.
Amazing match and amazing battle. They haven't played yet. Actually, this is semifinals. They both have played, but Eclipse did okay. Onu kind of sucked. I know. Wait, didn't they both? Yeah, they both had to sweep to get here. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know if I'd say it's an amazing battle yet. They haven't played, but
With this entire mix here, and this is gonna be it, man. So
you can't see it in chat, but all of the old production team and old casters and some of the old players are in chat, like talking shit. It's hilarious.
between Onu and Eclipse, who do you think's gonna take it?
That's actually kind of
Not a bad toss-up.
I've been watching Onu. They did. Let me see. Where are they? The full. There we go. So they beat out Get On Due Process, and then they fairly closely eked out Yakuza. So I mean, right off the
Yakuza.
bat, I was actually looking at some of the team.
Wait, did you say Yakuza? Hold on.
They
Hold on a minute.
beat out Get On Due Process, and then they fairly closely eked out Yakuza.
Okay. They're not called. I love calling them Yakuza, but apparently they didn't like that. They're Yakuza, not Yakuza, but Yakuza. I don't know why they're just like. I guess they made that as a way to fuck with it, to try and make make it sound like they're Yakuza, but no, they're Yakuza. Well, anyways.
So I mean, right off the bat, I was actually looking at some of the team rosters and everything. Yakuza kind of gaming. I had them up there in my predictions as in the top the finals.
What is this
but
expression?
Onu did beat them, so if they can beat Yakuza, I would feel rather confident. Let's see, Eclipse. Where are you guys in our wonderful brackets settings? Oh my god, there. Okay, there's one. Okay, so They fought against the Gabagulinis and took them 7-1, and then they actually lost to Pog CG, or more commonly known as Pogfish, for the real veterans out
Yeah.
there. But now they're going to be just coming in. So I've got to say, I'm feeling rather confident that at least based off of the averages and the scores that we've seen so far, I think Onu's got this. It's not going to be
Where'd
like a
my thing go?
7-1. I'm thinking we
No,
might see
man,
something more
whatever.
of like a 7-6 or a 5-7. You know, it's going to be close. It's really going to come down to, I think, which
Unironically, I was about to put
players
this on.
within the respective teams pop off, and you know, obviously the map, or you know, we might see some crazy you know, clickety-clack attacks, or
Clickety-clack attacks.
you know, Mop looking in a spot that's not to be, an auto shotty where it's not supposed to be. You know, it's going to really rely on just the 1v1 engagements, and then if we see some like really creative plays from the teams, that's how we're gonna, you know, really bring it together.
I agree. I think
I love this. This is the best trend ever of just like doing different hand postures and poses while waiting for the other person to talk. I love that it became a thing. It's fucking funny. Shit posting aside, I think analysis wise, I think he pretty much hit all the bases, man. Like, Ghost did a great job here. He really covered all the teams, all the matches leading up to it, covered kind of what to expect from what you're going to see. It's hard to really say that he was going to do anything else wrong or incorrect at that point. So, fantastic work from Ghost. Unfortunately, that the toss back, or he handed me off a really, really good, like, here's a good overall of the match, right? Here's all the details of this. What I do with it was not so nice, if I remember correctly.
I think it's going to be an interesting match back and forth. I think both teams have had one hell of a story to get here. I'm actually going to
This fucker's, look at this. Yeah, he fucking knows what he's doing.
go, I think, with Onu is a good choice. I think if Eclipse can actually get the kill, though, and he actually, you know, be able to actually actuate on their plans,
I love this shit posting.
I think Eclipse has really been a huge kind of big brain team. If they can get the shots down and actually force the teams to play their way, they're going to win this. I think
Italian shoutcasting, in case you didn't know.
they're going to go in all the way to the finals. Are they going to beat Fungi and Friends? I'm saying probably not, but you know what?
What was that thumbs? Hold on a minute.
Their way.
What was that
They're gonna
thumbs
win this.
down?
I think they're going to go in all the way to the finals. Are they going to beat Fungi and Friends?
That's not even, just barely. Wait a minute. The hand is like sideways, but the thumb is like, "Oing." How does that work? Also, I like the stern, like, oh shit, no. Oh my god, I whiffed. I biffed it. Oh fuck.
They're going to win
Oh my
this.
god.
I think they're
I actually biffed the whole fucking thing. Oh my god. This is
gonna
when
go
I'm
in
not allowed
all
to
the way
push
to finals.
buttons, okay?
Are they going to beat Fungi and Friends?
Anyways, back to
I'm saying probably not, but you know what? I think we'll see FNF.
you fucker.
They're going to win this. I think they're going to go in all the way to the finals. Are they going to beat Fungi and Friends? I'm saying probably not, but you know what? I think we'll see FNF. They're probably going to sweep, honestly, but you know what?
Okay, that was a little. I was being a little toxic. Not gonna lie, being like, I think it'd be fun guy friends. Probably not. To be fair though, I think most people would say probably not. 9 out of 10 people would say no. The 1 out of 10 being the team. Gnomes were like, yeah, we'll beat them. Fucking, we got this. Nobody else rooted for Gnomes. I don't think I saw a single soul being like, oh yeah, Gnomes all the way, completely win. It was a total upset. But when you get to the actual gameplay, and it came to the actual final, it was so bizarre of a match. It's hard to put into words the match that we saw for that final at this event. It, like, as due process, it was just, I don't know. It's really hard to put into words what we saw.
Honestly, that hurts the most.
It's true, but honestly,
Hold on a minute.
Friends?
I saw frame dip.
I'm saying probably not, but you know what? I think we'll see FNF. They're probably going to sweep, honestly, but you know what?
Honestly, that hurts the most.
Okay, there was a little bit of a dip. He was the Gnomes fan. Well, I mean, good for him,
It's
I guess.
true, but honestly,
Also, nice sock freaking mic filter.
to be honest, I am excited to see if they can actually
Ghost hates me right now.
break them.
You
Because
can
I
see he's just like, man, this guy can't shut the fuck up, can
think FNF, yeah, they're on the up and up, but still, sometimes if you get a little too
he? You can't see it. For some reason, someone started a fucking meme that the entire thing was rigged. I don't know why. Who the fuck's making a fun tournament? Like, why? I don't know why. You can't. One of these was like, they put it on fucking like rigging games. It was fucking funny as shit. I wanna get a kick out of that. Except for the people who were actually rigging it, or who were thinking it was rigged, didn't quite understand it. They were like, oh, "How dare you do that? Oh my god, it's real!" They thought it was actually real. They fell for the bait. It was. We all had a good laugh. But yeah, no, it was fucking fun. Every time I see the fucking like, I see the chat being like, thoughts on the rigging. Fucking funny.
Confident, you get a little overconfident. Upsets happen. Could happen.
Upsets
It does,
happen.
and that's the exciting thing. I mean, the one thing.
Okay, the hand motions are a little extra, okay? I say while doing a hand motion. It's a little extra, okay? You don't need that much hand motions while talking, okay? This ain't sign language, okay? We don't need a sign language for every time I talk, okay? Every time the words come out of my mouth, I don't need to show it with hand motions. I don't know what that was. That was not any kind of sign language. I'm just fucking around, okay?
Due process that's really
I'm
kind of
having a good.
around
I'm
us. You
pretending to
have
have a good time.
the gamers, but then
The gamers.
you have like this
You've got the gamers.
you have like the gods, and then you have like the rest
The
of
gods.
the underlings, where you get to really see some of the creative stuff that comes out, and
The gods.
the
gamers.
ideas get made. Some of the stuff that again, what we were watching, Med just last round, how he wasn't supposed to play. The map was bank. He wasn't supposed to be on the security side, but just because of that creativity from him, he basically just parked himself in security. He wasn't supposed to be there, and then was able to kind of get this really crazy rotate. It's a shame it didn't play out as we really wanted it to, and a lot of people were kind of hoping for the that win, or that that round win for him. But it's things like that where you can see the ingenuity from the players, especially now that we have the new items, the what is it, the welding torch, and a few the
The torch. Nothing grinds my gears like that torch. Oh my god.
like the fire extinguisher smoke grenade that we now have on the defender side. It allows for new.
We're about 8 minutes in. Well, actually, no, we're 30 minutes in on 8 minutes. We have an hour to watch.
Creative
It's
play.
going to be a while.
And it's always good.
I'm okay with this.
We always like to see new stuff.
Yeah.
That's not bad overall. I mean, again, Ghost basically is kind of reviewing past elements, past highlights from the previous rounds that we saw from both teams, and did a good job of it. So I think he did good.
I agree. It's a good mix back and forth.
Unfortunately, I kind of failed to pick up the ball. Oh fuck! I dropped my phone. Anyways,
Of different tactics and strategies, and the new people do bring in those new things that just
it's not new people, it's new items, dummy.
upset the game sometimes and really kind of surprise people. It happens very rarely, but it can happen. And I think we're going to go to a quick little break before we actually begin the matchup here. They're getting some things figured out, some wires swapped back and forth. So in the meantime, we'll be right back with more Due Process. You are watching the Redux Network.
This freaking
See
guy.
you soon.
This freaking guy just like, oh man, Ghost. All right, well, that was something. Notes. So we do want to actually take some notes. Number one, active. Oh my god, listening. Active listening. Keep on color casters points. Idea. US topic. This is a really big one that I fucked up. Like as a host, in my opinion, as a host, just, oh god, it's all fucking jacked. On color idea, awesome. I'm kind of fitting it within this little window, so I'm a little bit constricted on space, but I'd write out more normally. Yeah, that we can also read it too. I can make it smaller, yeah, but then you can't read it. I can read it fine, but I don't want it to be bad on cast or on view. That's super important. Our topics, leading topics weren't bad overall. We had a good pre-match analysis. good back and forth. That was pretty good from Ghost. I just kind of dropped the ball when it comes to actually responding to his points. I was just kind of doing a more of a general blandish, like, hey, a match is going to be interesting, got a good players, a lot of new systems are going to be fun to watch and see, but it didn't really actually go into depth. It was very surface level. So expand into deeper analysis. That was a big one for me. I'm very bad at this, especially with due process, because I just don't. First off, I no one's gonna see this live, so I'm probably okay for now. But I hate playing due process. Genuinely, I hate playing the game. That's why I never played it. I don't understand it. The maps are constantly changing, so I don't know where the fuck anything is, and I get lost half the time. That's part of the game is you know, you don't get to know maps to pre-plan things, but I don't learn the maps. Then I'm just sitting around like an idiot because I don't know what's going on. So I don't really play a lot of due process. And because you don't play due process, or play the game being casted for that matter, you don't have the good in-depth analysis of the game to actually go into. This is like a variety person just kind of talking about the game, which is kind of what I do. I mean, if I'm being real with you, it's kind of what I do. Not super not super in deep, right? But it wasn't super great from my side. I think Ghost did a good job covering it on color, but yeah. We'll skip ahead a little bit. They had some issues with the match starting. They had some people crashing out and stuff, so. As every time, and well, not every time, but especially now, production having problems is pretty par for the course. So. It's been on for a while, man. Holy shit. By the way, Photon down here is actually one of the players in the match, which is pretty sick. Let's skip ahead. We're about. Oh, not. God damn it, Ghost. Again, I have multiple pairs of silly, I have multiple pairs of silly sunglasses. You know, there's the easy ones that you saw before, the flip-ups. There's even our many fan favorite designs, aka 3 eyes. Try eyes. I got the green guys here. This freaking dude puts the sunglasses on upside down because it looks like mine. Because again, these are silly sunglasses, and they're also from the 90s, which means they're angled in such a way that you can't traditionally wear your flat sunglasses. Usually it's a flat brim. These guys are angled.
Welcome back.
Also, I can see your POV in your sunglasses, which, frankly, I can too in my own, but it's funny.
Redux Rumble, make plans, shoot mans, presented
At least I got the read right.
by the Redux Network.
A little bit, little hot on the mic there, but let's try that again. Let's do the full, like, non-shitpost review side of this thing. Let's see.
Welcome back to the Redux Rumble, make plans, shoot mans, presented by the Redux Network. I, of course, am Stuffed Shark alongside with my buddy.
My buddy over here, as you can tell, on my left side, of course, because this is where my view is. This is why I hate fucking doing anything online, because you're like, yes, right over here. And it's like, that's a wall. Not only is that not a wall, there's no one over there. They're over here. But I can't. The problem is, when this happens, I don't see where I am on the screen. I don't have a preview of, like, you're going to be on the left side, so point to the left or point to the right. They're just like, here you are. So let me just... And I look and it's like, it's a fucking no one over there. Wow, great discussion. What's that? I can't hear you. What? Oh, no, nothing. It kills me, man. I want to like actually look like I'm talking to the person, not just going like talking to the camera. Hey, camera. I want to like actually like talk, look like I'm talking to the person, right? Because it's a conversation. It's not just to sitting there like. You're not, as you can tell, you're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to just look at the mic, or look at the mic. Hey, Mike, look at the camera, right? You just look at the camera, you talk to the camera, because the camera is basically the viewer, right? You're talking to the viewer, not talking to the guy on the side of the broadcast, talking to you, the viewer. That's the point of this. I didn't answer my own question. I was like, well, why would I ever look to the side? The answer is you don't, stupid. You look at the camera, because the camera is going to be the one that guides you. Production, let them guide it. Also, remember what I said earlier about rigging? This pissed people off. It was really funny. It was actually pretty funny.
Ghost. We're
Hello.
about to get into the match pretty quick here.
So I mean, people were joking about the rigging thing because it was fucking funny. But we got a little bit of a wind of it, and they're like, "Oh, they're thinking you rigged matches." And
Yeah,
it's like,
how's it
oh, okay.
going? And we're about to get started with the semifinal here. This one is going to be an interesting match. I think it's going to be.
So I can see my own preview. This is the problem with wearing sunglasses, that it reflects everything, including the freaking TV, my monitor up top.
Great. Nice shades.
Yeah, I just then caught that he was wearing them upside down.
Just trying
Really,
to,
really.
keep the energy.
Of course. Got a match. It's fair. Really, really going to be fantastic to see how this
The shit posting from Ghost.
is all going to play out,
This
and
guy.
who's ultimately going to take the road to the finals here.
This is a fucking mockery of casting. This isn't even a good broadcast, but you know what? It's very par for the course for me. You know, I'm here to have a good time, and I hope the viewers do too.
For the best of 3 in there. I'm thinking Eclipse has a chance, but Onu.
This is like the most like fucking weird. This is just a weirdo
It's looking pretty
fucking
strong
sunglasses
too. So this
ever
could
made.
be maybe a little back and forth, perhaps. But it looks like we're about to load in here, so I'm excited to see how this is all going to turn out. And it looks like we have the map up. It is Operation Wolverine Fortuna.
I'm never gonna stop doing this shit. I actually do really like that. Hand motions are fucking funny. Hand postures plus keep it subtle, because that it I think I spell subtle. Is it? Fuck. How do you spell subtle? God damn it. Shit. Hold on. Come on, computer. Computer, you frick. Oh. There we go. How do you spell subtle? Subtle. S-U-B-T-L-E. Oh, yeah. S-U-B-T-L-E. That was subtle. As you can tell, I'm an English major. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, if I shrink this, is it going to affect anything? Nice. It doesn't really. Now, if I have it like nice, that actually works well, because then I can zoom in on that and that. Sick. All right. Boom. Okay. So hand postures are important. The second read-in was a lot better. It was okay, but lacked. So really, you know what it is? Drop hooks into action. Because a lot of the times when I was doing that, you could just kind of tell it was like, well, here we are back in the game. You're about to start the semifinals. And then it just kind of ends. And it's like, well, it's kind of, now what? Like, what, as a viewer, like, what's supposed to actually make it interesting? You know? What's supposed to be fun in this? And right now, it's like, I don't know, the teams. And it's like, well, it's not really a hook. I think if there was something to actually, like, entice a viewer to watch, that one might work a little better. As a viewer, it was such a boring introduction that I kind of fell asleep.
But it looks like we're about to load in here, so
this details about loading in, I don't know. There's not a lot we can work with, and because we're limited to the game being what it is and being unreliable, frankly, it is unreliable, and not a whole lot I can do about that. So maybe there's a different way to cover that. But
I'm excited to see how this is all going to turn out. And it looks like we have the map up. It is
I can see the map through my freaking sunglasses.
Operation Wolverine Fortuna. So, what a map. Looks like it's pretty wide, kind of short, but a lot of interesting sightlines too.
So, this is an interesting topic. Now, in this game, this is due process, in case you weren't aware. The way it works format-wise is you have a planning phase where the teams see their map. These are randomly generated before the match starts. So there's a set pool of maps that have been pre-made and kind of tuned a little bit here and there, but pretty much just randomly generated. The teams don't know what maps they're getting. They're going in blind. They just see, okay, here's a tile set. Like this is storefront, so it's got like store elements to it. It's got little you got your entrance with the rolling up shades, you got your stores, you got a little arcade, you got a bathroom, you got a storage area. It's a little store, right? The key is, even though it's a little store, the map layouts are different, which means the little rooms, little spot where the bomb is planted, that's all different, which means teams have to then, in the beginning phase, figure out what the plan is. They're going to go for the red door, which is going to be, red doors require a charge to break. So you can use up your red charge for that one. Now this one has special, and some tile sets like this have special formatting, right? There's special things about them. This one has a roll-up door on entrance that can be rolled up by the defenders if they want to try and shoot in, or kept down and have the window blown out here. There's little sides and things they can do there. Another red door. There's always one free entrance, and that is going to be in storefront. This blue spot here is a free entryway that does not cost any equipment to break. Every area has at least one free entrance. Reason being is if you lose all your utility, or let's say you're just playing against a team that, let's say you go all in, you spend all your money, you spend all of your objective stuff, right? All your explosives. If you lose the round or you use it up, you have 2 more maps you got to play, right? In the set before you have to swap sides, and then you get new stuff. So if you use it all in one, you need a way to get into the map. You can't just like lose because you don't have any kind of utility to get in. That's stupid. That's not that doesn't play very well. So there's always a free entrance. So when this happens, it's up to basically the casters to kind of analyze for the viewers what are the points that the other teams are going to look out for. So like let's say on this map, entrance is going to be important. A lot of good cover for entrance. They're probably going to bomb entrance. So that's an important spot to watch. Red doors in storefront. This is not going to get used at all, but storage is an interesting spot. No windows in storefront in this area here, so they're pretty safe. But there is a window in storefront, so their reach in from the skylight is safe. But will they still try and go for that? Let's see. So I said, hey, it's pretty open and wide, right? Let's go back and review that.
It looks like we have
Something that's also kind of a faux pas on my side. I was into a little bit of early map analysis stuff when that really should be the color guys stuff. You can talk about points back and forth, but I'm kind of doing his job, and that's not super cool. Then again, usually I don't have a lot of things to contribute. That's in the analysis phase of things, because again, everything is so surface level that, you know, everything is just like a little rock skimming the water. He's the one actually going in, actually swimming under the surface, and actually going into the depth of the game. I'm just kind of like a little rock skimming off the surface, which is okay,
the map
but
up. It is operation.
frankly, it's not very good. So, then again, also not a lot of people are. The people that went in deep got burned out because it's like faux depth. I think there's an element of depth to it for sure, but it's like, unless you really understand it all, it's a sort of like, to me at least personally, I never found due process. I still don't find it super what's a good way to say it without being too rude? It's not fun. Frankly, the game isn't fun to play. Watching it's okay, but I don't know, bomb defusal modes are just never really been my thing, man. And that's the only thing people play. It's either bomb defusal or battle royales. That's it. The world we live in. Man, nobody plays firefight. That was my mode. That's what I loved. And that's the mode. That's my mode that I play competitively. But that's even nowadays, I would never play that competitively. So don't ask.
Fortuna.
So anyway, I don't know why I'm getting random fucking off track. But anyways, so map analysis wise for my part, let's see what that's like.
So, what a map. Looks like it's pretty wide, kind of short, but a lot of interesting sightlines too.
Kind of short, wide and short. I mean, vertically, well, you got a pretty long sightline here. There are some good sightlines. I was looking at this and these long gaps here as interesting sightlines, because from storefront, you can reach on the side here and go for that side. Tally's also got some pretty wide ones here. Ghost?
Yeah.
I caught him off guard. Unfortunately, there I was supposed to talk for longer. But again, because you're not in person, you kind of have to assume or not really know if the person's going to be talking or not. There's a lot of like, I kind of think this is the right time. Also, me and Ghost haven't worked together in like a year before this, so a lot of things that we may have hit or not we didn't have the time for that. So
Yeah.
anyways,
Didn't get.
so I do want to. I'm just trying to specify. I'm not saying I'm a super good caster. Anyways, I'm very much a fucking. I do this as a hobby. I'm trash at casting. I sound very convincing to some people, but I don't think I'm very good at all myself personally. I'm pretty low tier. Ghost is pretty good. I'm not as good. But anyways,
Get a chance to see the other two maps that we're gonna be loading into, but course. Let's see, we got an entrance, everything. Yeah, it's looking like a good old fashioned storefront. It's a classic. It's a classic. We even have a little drop down spot. If you see right above the storefront logo, you see
God, I gotta shut up.
that nice bright
I need
blue
to shut the
square
fuck up more.
indicating that,
Let me just yeah. All right.
obviously, if the attackers wish to go
That's just fucking annoying. Man.
up the
I don't know why they put up with me.
ladder that you can see on the right hand side of the building, they can even drop down there, and yeah, even
The fucking mouth breathes, bro. Like, man, I need some tissues to sneeze.
look at that. Drowsy's even pointing out that, hey, let's try and get down there.
Why am I
get
that
some,
out of breath?
Get some, gamer kills and try and
Some gamer
be
kills.
the epic gamers for this match.
Will be the epic gamers for this match. I like it.
Oh yeah, there it is. Hey, there it is. That's what I'm talking about.
This map. I like on the side you can't see it. Chat's like, oh, this map is a hernia.
Hey,
wow.
look at that. I'm casting here. Look at that. So
Again, this is a fun tournament. Okay, shouldn't be that hard. We're having a good time here. It's not some kind of professional like ESL or some shit. Like, this is just for fun. But there's lessons to learn here still.
again, it's a really good opportunity. It doesn't, obviously, you don't have to, besides just shooting the
I need to work on mic placement, making sure it doesn't pick up my mic. Or rather,
glass, you don't
I have a noise gate set.
have to spend any charges to get in there. It saves a little bit of utilities. So if they choose to like smoke it off, they could throw a smoke, flashbang it, and then they can get in without having to use nearly as much utility.
You can't tell, but I usually hold my breath or like hold my face in close so I'm not breathing into the mic. Because, as you can tell, right now my nose is all stuffed up because allergies, which means I have to control my breath and talk and cast. And if you have your mic like right next to your freaking mouth, like there, you don't have a lot of room to like breathe or do any kind of mouth sounds. So, because the other issue is that mic levels will change if you move it around. So when you put on your headset, you're supposed to keep it there, right? Like, 1 second. Man, fuck it. Basically, we'll use this as our prop. Hopefully the mic doesn't hit me in the face. When you set your mic in position, right, you really don't want to be moving it around back and forth like on air. You want it to basically stay in position, move to the right spot, and stay there. Don't move it around at all. And in theory, this pop filter should get rid of most of the sounds that you might make with your face by accident, but it's not perfect. I'll hit myself in the face, as usual. But anyways,
Utility.
I need to shut the fuck up. This is so fucking annoying. I wish someone fucking said something about it.
Or, as we're seeing here with the attackers, they're actually going to try and potentially wall breach the entrance, give them this really nice, east to west kind of push.
East to west.
And that kind of helps, segment off, okay, I don't need to look behind me because I know that this entire building part of the map is clear. So they can kind of just prioritize on working their way towards the arcade bomb.
My brain just like totally turned off for a second because whenever color casts talk, my fucking brain just like, I'm trying to hear them and also think. That's two different things. Okay, I can hear them talk, but I can't think and look at the game and look at something to talk about. That's three things. My brain does at the most 1.5. Okay, I can hear them talk. I have to think about it, and then I talk. But that's not correct. You want to basically 1 to 2, right? You kind of like, you have your thing to say, you kind of have it queued up, ready to go, right? You think you got your gun loaded, right? You're ready to fire. You're waiting for the point, in theory, that hopefully should be bridging in with the other one to then finish, and then you bam, you shoot shot, pow, right? Right. So you get your guns ready, right? Player 1, here your color. You kind of throw it to them. They shoot the shot. They then say that, okay, cool, I'm gonna move to the side. Then you cut it back side, and you try and time it to work together. Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong wavelength, and I'm also an idiot. So not only do I miss the timing, which, mind you, online it's a little more forgiving, but I really missed the timing. Holy shit. He was just talking nonstop, and he just went. Let me. What's his? Let's just see what his read-in was again.
Try and potentially wall breach the entrance, give them this really nice, east to west kind of push, and that kind of helps, segment off. Okay, I don't need to look behind me because I know that this entire building part of the map is clear, so they can kind of just prioritize on working their way towards the arcade bomb.
Oh, it's kind of a flat ending, but didn't really have any like indications that he was going to stop talking. Also, the delay.
Yeah.
That was some Zoom call shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty interesting setup back and forth here, where we have a good mix of defenders and attackers.
What the fuck am I talking about?
Kind of rotating on those sides, as you kind of said. I think, though, this is going to require a fast execution from Eclipse. I think...
What the fuck am I talking about? They're going east to west. I'm talking about, like, timings for a battle. What?
Onu have a good read on the strat here, and if they can make them play to it, it's going to be devastating. So let's see what happens.
So mind you, going into this one, I was supposed to be on action. I asked the guy, hey, can I do action? He's like, yeah, I got you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Just to specify.
Well, do we have... Okay, so no, they're actually using the welding torch, so they're going to potentially... Where is that bad boy? It looks like they might just try and go for the red door, and then... No, okay, they are going to...
Marvel's using it. Yeah.
Nice.
This.
So they are going to be opening that up, and look at this. I mean, the entire.
Oh.
Now, will that open the entire wall? This is a new one for me. So
let's see what they can do here.
What? Again, I'm supposed to be like trying to talk, but he's just like not. Mind you, like casting isn't always a set like it's not like a robot. A B A B. It's kind of like cooking. There's a variation in kind of movement to it that's supposed to be nice and smooth to make it sound natural. Sometimes, someone might hold the ball and they toss it to you, and then it goes back, and then it goes here, and it goes back. That's how casting normally works. The problem is sometimes people kind of like take the ball, and it's hard to like hand the ball over when it's like, if you're out of order and you're kind of like not in the zone of like left to right or seeing where the game's gonna go. You can have many situations like this where it's like, color, action kind of throws it to color for a little bit of last second, kind of like do. That's a little information, little bits on approach, maybe some extra little details that you might not see. But then the action starts, and he's like, "Oh, I'm talking, so I need to keep going," and like he keeps bridging it on and on and on. Because again, Ghost can do multiple, because he's actually really good. He's a really good caster. He can do action and color, so he's kind of like bridging that color action gap there by kind of doing a little bit of a little actiony spice there, right?
Oh, look
They've got a little window.
And I'm kind of left going, well, trying to throw my little bits in there, right? 'Cause I'm trying to be there to help, not sit there and just listen to him talk, because that sucks. Like, that's not casting. If you're sitting there and just watching the other guy do all the work, you're not doing your section. And maybe sometimes the timing doesn't work out to where you can't talk and you have nothing to say. But 9 times out of 10, you should be there like with them in some supporting way. I don't know how to do that yet, as you can tell. I'm still pretty new to casting with people. I'm usually just on my own 9 times out of 10, so I haven't casted, I think, a match officially in like at least a year when this happened, so I was pretty out of practice. I'm still, frankly, really out of practice because I don't do it enough. Like, I should be having days of just watching tournaments or casting over VODs of tournaments. It's actually not a bad idea. Should do that for one of my streams next week. I'm gonna make a note of that, actually. That's a really good idea. Do like a VOD cast over. There you go. A castaway. Man, I'm good. Let me just write that down. Cast. Oh my god, I cannot type today. Castaway. We'll call it the Shoutcasting. Beautiful. All right, that's a cool idea for next week.
Nice. Yeah, this is gonna be a fantastic.
You did finally. Let's go.
Now, will that open the entire wall? This is a new one for me. So
let's see.
You can't see a Jasper Still Archetype map.
See what they can do,
bro.
here.
Come on.
They've
man.
got a little window.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is
Why did he stop talking?
gonna be a fantastic one here. So
That's
right now, looks like
great.
The conflict.
yeah. Yeah, attackers are kind of going back and forth here. Looks like they have pushed through. They're starting to go into the storefront here. At least on the
I'm talking way too quiet. God damn it, fucking nose. I hate it. This is frustrating. I'm basically have to breathe and talk through my entire mouth. Like, I can't breathe through my nose and talk, which means I have to, like, control everything. Which makes it very hard to breathe and talk and sound coherent without, like, stuffing through my nose. So I'm gonna let this play out, and I'm gonna grab some tissues. So, well, this will be the first time. We'll start from when I start talking, and we're just gonna let the whole thing play out for now.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fantastic one here. So
That's
right now, looks like
great angle.
Yeah, attackers are kind of going back and forth here. Looks like they have pushed through. They're starting to go into the storefront here, at least on the top side. They're going to drop down.
Let's take a look at the full map, though. I mean, like I said, the entire east side's been cleared out. Defenders know what's going on. They'd rather just kind of hold back, and you can tell also by their gun loadouts. They're ready for a really close, scrappy fight. Now, to be fair, there's only one Molotov, so if they're really going to try and bleed this, they need to be just a little bit aggressive. Let them know that, hey, you can't... Oh my God, he used the torch to clear the barb. What's a grenade to a man with a torch anyways?
Indeed, he's got it on fire, and look.
This is actually a good back and forth between color and action. That was actually really good work from both of us. Obviously, Ghost does a lot more of the work. I'm just kind of like the surface level clips that are just like dumb clips. That's about the only thing I'm doing so far, which is not super impressive. But Ghost is doing a great job.
Looks like the defenders are just going to keep in their spots for now.
So look at this angle.
Roby going to go for the push-up. Marbles at the same time. Marbles wins his fight. Roby wins his. But Asbo will go in from behind and take down Lacking. Trades back and forth. Another kill for Asbo. Roby, another one for him. He's on fire.
Unfortunately, the observations kind of missed it. They were focused on the other POV of Roby, trying to go for the kill when Asbo went in behind and fucked them up. It's hard when you're doing it live. There's no delay or anything, so whatever you got is what you got. You got to hope for the best with observations. There's also still the first round of the first map, so it's tough to catch all of it. That's why I try and cover everything from my POV. Because again, my view, I have the map view all of the time. I only ever use map view. I don't use POVs individually because I want to see everything going on. If you focus on one person, you're going to miss out on other people. So I try to focus on everybody, which for this kind of game is, frankly, as I've learned more and more about casting, I find that it's actually not as effective. Like, you end up with this weird split view of like, the production keeps up with you and they can cast it all, or at least show it, or you end up just kind of saying stuff that just sort of goes on apparently, like stuff that gets missed in the view should probably stay missed. Like if I try and cast over it, it's sort of like, well, what do you mean? I didn't see that. Like what are you talking about? And it's hard for them to show that because there's just so much going on that it doesn't really work out. So frankly, if anything, it'd be good to have a map view, but I think sticking to just the POV of this might be better. Something I learned from Apex trying to cast that, because it was like, yeah, you could like wide view per se, but they wanted you to cast the observer view, or basically keep on ops and cast what's being cast, like being shown, and not just cast all of the firefights. Because again, in a battle royale, you're facing like 20 teams. Okay, that's 10 3v3s. It's a lot of combat, and it's a lot for a production to try and keep up with. Which means unless you're clicking like Optane or is it I can't remember if it's Octane or Optane, but I think it's Octane. The dude who like runs really quickly all the time. Unless you're on that kind of like that kind of guy, and you're like clicking all the time, which is like unviewable, frankly. When you're constantly clicking like that, you're just like it's trash. And even if I can cast at that speed, you can't understand what I'm saying or understand what's happening to actually really understand and enjoy what you're seeing. So it's not effective. So at the end of the day, you do have to pick people to follow, good and bad. It's just how it is, right? So some things will get missed. Trying to cover everything is just not essential. But this one here, actually, in this case, for this game, actually kind of works out, because what it does is it allows for, if observation, let's say drops the ball here, and they miss Asbo going for a 3K, right? He had the good side push. You can't see it on here.
Drazzy, the last one alive here on this push.
There you go. So Asbo literally opened up the door and blew these dudes away. He killed Lacking. He then went out and killed Hero CBC. He also got a kill, I think, earlier on the Roby. No, yeah, Aspo got Roby. So he got 3K. So he literally opened up the door, breached it, tub thumped freaking Lacking, went back a little bit, went in and killed Hero and Hero CBC and Roby. The spy got dropped. Dylan got traded over in this side here. It's down to just Drasy now back at the storefront.
Teammates all down. Is he going to go for the fight? Or is he going to run and hide and try and see what he can for Eco? He only has an AP, so not a whole lot to save. At this point, may as well just go for it. The kick is holding in a good spot to counter it.
It's not Kick, it's Decadence, but the problem is, man, it's pet peeve. I hate when people fucking change their names around to something that's not that they want on air.
Decadence.
Like, there was this fucking time, I really hated it. I didn't have to cast it, thankfully, but man, it was frustrating. Where I'm saying, and by the way, if you're coming in, no quips is for me. I'm talking over a lot of Ghosts, which is really annoying to listen to. There was this match back in Insurgency a long time ago. I think one of the grand finals where Veritas versus Armada. It was like season 8, season 9. They were overworking together, and all of a sudden they thought it'd be really funny to fuck with the casters by they all wore different names of the opposing team. So like Link was Wooly, Grimoire was like Kate or whatever. I don't think he was playing at the time. So someone else on Veritas like Darth. Darth was also gone too. I don't know. The rosters change all the time. But in essence, they'd go back and forth. They'd fuck with them. It was kind of funny at first, but then you're like, I don't even know who's playing at this point, and the names just got confusing. So then they went back and swapped it. But anyways, random quip aside, let's get back into it. So,
in the backside there, Superman on the rotation as need be.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
So far, it's just a slow play back and forth. Shot to the side there. Here comes the pickup. Drasy gets him, but from behind.
Hasbro 4K. Sheesh.
On the front side there, Superman will take the round.
Superman doesn't take the round as Hasbro, dummy. I fucked that up. God damn it.
Oh no.
Wow.
I
The wow was unnecessary.
like the idea from the attacking team. It made sense on paper. It was just getting into the left, the west side of the map. I mean, you can see the entire defending team was just.
So, I mean, that was a missed call from me. Like I was, my eyes were on Superman on the flank. Or actually, it was Superman on this side here, right? Yeah. Asbo was snuck around through the window here in entrance and gunned down Drasy.
Back and forth. Shot to the side there. Here comes the pickup. Drasy gets him, but from behind.
See, it's actually Asbo, but I was looking at Superman like shooting in towards this side. He was actually distractions for Drasy. He was focused on this guy, but Asbo actually got the kill in there. So, ultimately that was a misplay from me. A missed call, rather, from my side.
Front side there, Superman will take the round.
It wasn't Superman, by the way. It's actually Onu. But I could not tell the difference with these teams, man. Because they're all random and there's no
I like
structure
the
to it.
idea
I couldn't tell the
from,
difference on teams.
from the attacking team. It made sense on paper. It was just getting into the left, the west side of the map. I mean, you can see the entire defending team was just ready. They had these absolutely nasty little kill angles for them to go through. But I don't, maybe my eyes deceived me, but I didn't see a whole lot of utility in I'll say the second half of that push. They got in, they did the flashes that they needed to clear out the area. But then it was that second step of like, all right, we're in. Now what?
Yeah.
And you could see like the team was trying to figure out, okay, well, maybe we can get a pick here, maybe we can get a pick there, and obviously it didn't work out. Thankfully not too much critical utility. I mean, they lost the welding torch, but like, not the end of the world. There wasn't like a saber that was lost or a clacker or like, I don't even think that they used a breach. So they could easily double up if they want to for these next two maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely could, but
They could.
we'll see what they could do here on Operation Life Rising.
So it's a tradition amongst due process maps when you're casting it to say the name of the map on the bottom side here. These can be really funny sometimes. Other times they can just be total randomness.
Wide, long map again. This is going to be
Big, wide, long map. Well, it wasn't again.
another big pick access here. You're not going to see a lot of that close quarter fighting we saw in the last round there, so your tubs are getting put away, and now trying to pull out the KRs and Ingmars.
Not bad, not bad.
Absolutely. And this is looking
As a handoff, that's not too bad, actually. I kind of went over everything that was important at the time, right? Went over all the detail. Was it super great? I think it was okay.
there's a
lot better than the last one. I ain't saying much, though.
really nice.
So far, we're about an hour and 15 on about a 2 minute, actually, no, about 10 minutes of on-screen time.
It's like if you're looking at
So I think I'm going to do one of these today. I might do another one next week or something. I really want to do a live castaway. That'd be pretty sick. I'm excited for that. But that's for next week. But anyways, we're still casting here.
Yeah, like the bottom
Casting.
right side of jungle. Really nice line of
The
sight
bottom right
there.
side of jungle.
I don't know. This is where we're going to come down to.
Interesting things on this map I don't think I mentioned. Windows outside here means attackers can look outside and actually observe into these sides here on almost all of the positions except for the bottom floor here. That one's protected, and of course up top here. So defenders, if they align themselves relative to that and kind of play more into the inside covers here and here, here and here, more on that side there, could be pretty effective. Of course, they have to play to these sides here and here. They do have a wall solid here, but they have to watch out for your sides here. So
How
you could see attackers actually go on the
wants
outside
to
there.
play it. I mean, obviously they
Let's
need to
see.
be mindful of observation. That's going to be critical. That's going to be a huge spot.
Right here. Yep.
But if they even want to try.
I do also want to mention that normally you're able to draw on the map and actually like show lines, show where you're going to push out the things. We didn't have access to that because we don't actually have, at that time, we didn't, for this tournament, we didn't have the actual like in-game view. We were just looking through a stream like you guys are right now. So normally we'd actually draw like positions like, oh, they're going to look out here, look out here, look out here. They're going to go in through here, show little like Stratocaster style lines and stuff. Normally we'd do that in this kind of broadcast for these kind of for due process, but considering the circumstances, we didn't have that. End of the world? Nah, it's not one of those like, man, but nice to have. But normally you would. This one we didn't. Not a big deal though. But anyways,
Try any
keep cooking, Ghost.
long range stuff. I mean, they could even just put an auto shotty, somewhere in observation. Let that guy just completely lock down observation, and then just let a couple, like you said, a couple ignores, even a mop. There you go, Dylan. Pull.
A map on this map is actually a really good call. If you're up top here, you can go long way towards beach, long way in pit. That could be really effective. This is a long freaking line,
that bad
dude.
boy out to just kind of lock down the rest of the map and just make sure that the attackers can't get in. But we do have a clacker, so it is looking like it might be a beach observation push, which it just makes sense. That's the
It's a good call, good read.
most logical and rational thing. But logical and rational hasn't exactly been the name of the game for some of the matches that we've seen. So who knows what's going to happen?
Ouch.
That is very true.
That was a really, really good entire like A to Z coverage of the map. That was fantastic from Ghost.
Too. It's been a little bit of chaos, but it always comes in handy as things are getting a little bit boring, things get a little too stuffy. Sometimes you can just throw in somebody on a total random spot, and sometimes it will actually break them, and they just won't expect it, and they get
This is so surface level. It's like
played like a fiddle. But right now,
you can just put up a robot. You literally just put up an AI dude with a voice and probably get the same level of depth what it
looks
just
like
gave
defenders
there.
are filling out where to go here, and they're sticking mostly the jungle. One in observation, but they're
They can see this, but one of the problems that I have especially is that I ended up I cast what I can see, but I don't cast the depth of what they're actually doing here, which is turtling on jungle and observation.
mostly sticking to the sides here. So they're expecting the beach push.
A little bit.
They get countered pretty good here.
They could get countered pretty good here. I don't know what that means.
As to say, it's interesting that they're going for the beach push when, as we talked about, that
Let's
observation.
go.
Once you clear that,
Where
I
are they
mean,
going?
both doors
Where
are
are they
facing
cooking?
the side that you have to defuse the bomb on. You can't. It's not a 360 kind of view. As long as you're facing the right side, you can defuse it, and they'll have guns covering it. So I'm really curious to see how our defending team, Anu, is going to handle it. Now, bot player is on bomb, but I mean this.
So one of the things about POV views is that you can't see the entirety of what's happening. I mean, catching the rotate is good, and especially with observation or with the position here for the sniper, it makes sense to have someone here and to kind of show that view because that is important, especially if they're going to run in and go for like montage stuff. It's nice to have for players.
Okay, no, it's a really nice.
But the problem is sometimes in wide map view, I'll see things that it's not shown on stream, which again is that like contrast of like, do you follow observation? Do you follow the total? For this one, it's kind of handy to have both, but it's something I'm thinking about now is like, you got to be cognizant of that,
Line of sight.
of what's being shown.
Looking at the angle.
Ooh, nice
and,
pickup.
Hey, there we go.
Oh,
So mind you, we're kind of supposed to be AB a little bit. We kind of blur AB-ish, but I'm usually pretty like, I'm used to working with like people who are very like power switch instead of dial. So power switching that it's like AB directly versus like smooth over. So it's a little bit to get used to.
wow,
but
Dylan and Swag doing some good work, and Swag especially on the rotation back did a great job in observation to hold off that push. Lacking is not clearing it up, but they are slowed down heavily, which gives plenty of time for defenders to flank up on the backside there. Lacking will take down Swag to push.
Damn.
We've got more to go for in this long
Oh, Dylan got the pick up on Eldrazi. Nice.
sideline, but there it is, Dylan.
2K.
Taking down Lacking.
Let's go.
Superman will take down Marbles on the other side. Now it is just down to Dylan, cashing that check and taking the round.
Sheesh. Damn, Dylan.
Yeah,
Pop off, bro. You're killing it, man. My casting there, my voice is super quiet. I don't know what's going on with that, but it was okay. It covered the general basis of what action was. I think I'm gonna put on there add mic check volume, talk louder. That's something I need to do. I'm talking very quietly, talking like this back and forth. I sound like I'm on NPR, not on a fucking shoutcast. Okay, you do need to speak. It's called shoutcasting. It's not called quiet cat. You're not like talking like this where we're here they go jumping over the bush. Oh wow, they got the shots done. You're supposed to talk loudly, which my natural voice is very quiet, but it's not. You're supposed to talk loudly. You're supposed to bring the voice, you know? I mean, maybe not theatrically like theater, like, but like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing that in this. And I'd say it's actually not great for the broadcast. Oh my God, I just realized I was being cropped off. I'm an idiot. Frankly, I usually never have chat, so I never even noticed it. Apologies for the, I don't think anyone cared, but it bugged me. Anyways.
They knew exactly what they were going to play.
Oh, look at
it!
Come on!
That's a little bit salty or a little bit toxic.
A little salty? That's pretty toxicity, brother.
We appreciate it though. The fact that they played, I mean, there's like playing defensive, and then there's having guys in jungle. I mean, that worked out fantastic for them. I mean, obviously,
we're both talking really quick.
It did help that, you know, the opening salvo they picked up 2 for pretty much nothing. That it kind of helps, you know.
Oh yeah,
kind of helps. I mean, covered everything.
Yeah, huge. It's a huge help to the mind game. Helps you understand the strats. Everything plays well together when you're working together like a team, and you're effectively playing mind games on it. We saw that from the defenders, kind of forcing the attacking side to kind of go a little bit, kind of a little slow.
We're both talking really quick though. Like it's a little too fast. It should be a little slowed down where you have a little bit more of that like natural sound to it, right? When you hear people talk, they don't talk at this speed all the time. You talk like this when you're really excited, and you're like, you get that nervous energy. That's one thing, but you got to be able to control that energy. And this is a fun tournament, to be fair, not to try and devalue it, but
ultimately just kind of drop the ball. So good teamwork all the way around.
Those are okay.
Everything.
I need to work on choice. One thing I noticed too, especially like while I was doing it, I was oftentimes repeating a lot of words and a lot of like things there.
When
So
you make plans and shoot mans. Would you agree, Steph?
It really does.
It really do be like that.
It really does. It really do.
It really do be like that.
I do want to credit you because I was listening to one of your matches earlier, and you made the really astute observation that defending, winning defense rounds on some of these matches can actually be kind of like the make or break for this point. And I do want to point out, Anu has won.
Most teams are either very so. Yeah, I guess this is a bit of a point on due process. A lot of teams in a lot of matches, generally speaking. Well, I'm dumb. Don't mind me. Teams usually are either attack based or defense based. Sometimes really really good teams like the top tier, A tier, they're usually both, and they can handle both no problem. They just sweep. No matter what side they're on, they sweep. Most teams are either attack heavy or defense heavy, or they're defense sided in player base. In sort of how they approach things, how they do things. Very aggressive teams, they love playing attack. When they're on attack rounds, they fucking sweep. While on defense rounds, they lose. If they win, they're probably gonna win the match. Because as soon as they win 2 out of 3 on a weak side, they're going to play their strong sides. That's 5-6. Again, you win at 7. So if you can win one of those weak sides, you're looking pretty damn strong. And frankly, if you win one of those weak rounds, you've won the game. You just have to play it out. And as you play out the rounds here, because it's first to, I think it's in total 9. So with it playing in total to 9, if I remember correctly, because it should be 3, 3, 3, and 3. So that's 12. I'm an idiot. I can't count, apparently. First to 7 wins, 12 rounds total, which means as long as you're going back and forth, you're going to be playing at least 6 rounds of progression. You'll have 6 for both. So both teams will have 6 rounds tied to... Shouldn't it be... What? Wait a minute. 3 and 3, 3 and 3. That's 12. What the fuck? Okay. I ain't cooking right now,
the
dude.
3 rounds as defenders.
Because yeah, hold on, no, hold on a minute. It's first to 7, 12 rounds total, which means you're gonna have at least 6 for both. Yeah, so both teams are 6-6. So if anyone wins on their offsides, they win the game. You just have to play it out, and they'll win. Okay, I was right on that. I don't know why I freaking second guessed myself.
And on top of that, they've kept
So Dream Trident, still talking about the old match over the new map, which is, I mean, it's good to talk slow.
these matches can actually be kind of like the maker.
It's an interesting point to talk about though, with how teams work together or not work together, or how it
Break
is make
for
or break.
Point. And
So
I do want to point out, Anu has won 2 of the 3 rounds as defenders, and on top of that, they've kept their mop in between their dome match. So they're going into this extremely powerful. I mean, this next round, you're probably going to see the saber. Obviously, but like they could also whip out the auto shotty if they're feeling really spicy.
that is a good point, and that was totally valid. So interestingly enough, Dream Trident here is like a really weird map. For some reason, I think in the previous game we had a really shitty. Frankly, it was a bad bank. That was just like super sided towards defenders. It was super focused. Vault here is interesting because you have the door that can block off here. So you just mainly have hallway. This is not a solid wall. This is just an empty way there. So fast to loans to go for the charge with a split to there. That could work.
They could do
We'll
that.
see.
But I think they're going to mostly play for long sides. They're going to.
That's kind of what he did. One thing you'll see oftentimes is that I'm not listening to the color people very well. The color caster. To be clear, Jesus Christ,
Probably have someone
I could sound bad out of
I guess on
context.
strategy. Going for the 3-2 split isn't a bad call for the attackers, but ultimately, I'm thinking we're going to see a pretty reserved strategy here from Onu. I can see Eclipse trying to be a little more aggressive, but their thing has always been trying to out strategize the enemy, which kind of works sometimes. But if it fails hard, and at that point, it's a mop. So
Absolutely.
Onu, if they can figure out the strategy, they got it. It's easy win for them. If Eclipse can break it though, it's going to be a close one.
Not bad. I mean, technically not entirely wrong in this context. I think again, one of the issues I have is talking really, really quick. So, because I'm talking so fast, I have my knee up here. Because I'm talking so fast, I'm kind of end up. Because the other thing is that I'm also being aware of seeing what's happening on screen with like, hey, we're running out of time. We need to get going. That's one of those times where it's probably going to just like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm going to put this in the freezer and talk about it when there's nothing going on, because sometimes you just got to let your color do their thing, do your thing, and you cannot sit there and like try to get little quippets here and there, because it seems like it's a little bit too tight, right? Where it's like, yeah, you could in theory like sit there and respond to the quip in a good way, right? Or I guess respond to the topic, not quip, because the quip is just like being annoying shit that I say. That's quips. That's not actual in-depth dialogue of actual value, right? What Ghost is saying is value, and I'm saying is usually trash 9 times out of 10.
Well, so
I think that point is good for the relative conversation, but it's a little bit late into the round, right? Because these games have a pretty fast turnover rate between match ending, loading the map, and getting into planning phase. It's pretty quick, and they're already starting to gear up, which means you don't
far,
have a
taking
lot of
look
time.
at how Eclipse is planning to enter this. They're going to go through the vents
Let's see
and
what
then
happens
through
here.
lobby. So they're looking to kind of clear it from southeast to northwest,
Southeast. Okay.
which does work.
I don't know the cardinal directions though. Is that like southeast to northwest this way? I guess that seems strange for a game that doesn't have a compass to point in cardinal
They
directions.
obviously do
but
need to eventually hit the button, and as long as
defenders, yeah, they can vertically slice the map, sure. I'd say like diagonally slice it than cardinals, but
I'm praying, I'm really praying that we don't see anyone get deposited in, but the vault is getting opened, which means who's gonna be the lucky one.
They're getting their cash back, it looks like.
They're gonna get their cash back.
I kept making stupid comments on freaking bank.
And there's the auto shotty. So they're going to place at least one guy in vault. So
interesting
right
choice.
off the rip, it's a 5v4. We do not have the
I dig
mop.
that.
Even though this is the last round for our defending team, I'm really
I don't know.
surprised by that. I mean, they've got these crazy long.
Is it a bad play to not use the mop on this one? With it being so big? Mop is nice, but is it necessary?
angles.
No.
And
I think with especially for the sidelines
they're
and the focus maps there, it isn't really going to make sense to use the mop.
just gonna, again, like you
But
said, they're gonna play.
you know, obviously what we're doing here is hindsight, and it's always going to look super clear. But when you're playing the match and you're like, oh shit, we're playing, all right, we're making our calls, we're going for it. You don't have the time to do what we're doing here. So just keep that in mind, especially for the kind of analysis we're doing now. We see everything that's happening, and we can see all the mistakes that we're trying to do, off the cuff, right? There's no like pre-planning of maps, pre-planning of positions. Some teams will have that, and they'll know all the maps to know what's going on, but not everybody does. And if you don't know that, you're just going off the cuff. Everything is off the cuff, which means you're not going to sit there and have all this in-depth dialogue of like, oh yeah, this is here, this is here, this is here, this is how it's going to play out. Like you can see almost like a cooking recipe, right? You're like, all right, put the eggs in here, put that thing in there, and we lick it, put it in there. No. None of that's happening here. This is very, very, habergash, like
just hope
throwing in random shit and hope for the best.
strategy
And for some reason we're seeing Decadence like
plays out
setting up
better
still.
than
Even though the match started.
Never
Damn!
mind.
Oh,
Mom, get the camera easy.
Mind you, in that view, I just watched the grenade go from. Oh, hold on. I'm like pointing at the screen as if you can see it. Like I'm just seeing him just like that's what we see here. The POV is
And like
you
said,
getting
they're
blown the
very
fuck up.
defensive, and
Oh,
just hope that
man.
their strategy plays
That's
out
so good.
better than.
I didn't see shit. I don't know about you, but I didn't see shit on the view. Maybe I was supposed to have, but I didn't see jack. I just see them getting blown up on POV.
Never mind. Mom, get the camera easy.
That is a really good start for him, though.
Kobe. That's for
Okay,
sure.
so
Draz-
about that strategy and making sure two of your guys don't eat one grenade. There's a little thing called spacing and why it's important. This is a great example.
Oh
and
my
now
God,
the biggest
bro.
issue is it's a 5v2.
All right.
You last two guys are in Hall, but they're not.
true.
It's gonna be
True.
ugly. It's gonna be really, really ugly. Well, hang on.
It's very
they're
true.
going for this.
Oh, they're going around. Yeah, they're
They're
going
gonna go
for the
around.
long
I love
side
it.
here.
That's brilliant. That is
They're going
brilliant
around
though,
town.
because it's gonna fork them.
They're gonna be split up back to sides where they can't rotate
The fork cast is looking pretty good for this one.
because you have Drazzy on the side, on the right side, and Loans on the other side. Roby's gonna hold down the hallway. They've got no access. Lacking as well, holding Teller. They are pinned, and that's what they want. They want total control because now Drazzy will hit the button for the bomb. Roby's gonna walk in there. He's gonna have to go around through Teller, mind you, so he will give it away a little bit. So it really depends on this battle here in the upper side. Dylan will take down Marbles, and Hero wins the battle against Dylan. No trading, but there's still one in Hall to watch out for. But Roby will take them down. It's down to just the last player here in the vault. Rocking the out of shotty.
So, I mean, it's interesting enough. Like, it's not bad dialogue back and forth. Kind of doing a little bit of the in depth. See, this is kind of where I get in my zone where I can like a little bit of action, a little bit of like color back and forth. That mixes kind of well, but it's not. It does have a little bit of depth to it, where it's actually valuable.
Oh,
no
it's not
grenade.
looking to spice it up. Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, I keep calling him security, freaking insurgency, brain rot. Roby does have a smoke, which could be useful here.
there isn't any grenades left.
But
They do have
there's
a little
so
bit of
many
things on.
mollies
Looks like a
here.
Smoke on Roby.
This is swags
Just
to
kinda
lose.
Play slow, play for time at this point. Man, there's a lot of Molotovs there.
That's a lot of Molotovs. They have
he's
one
cooking something.
flash grenade left though, so if they could put this in just
That's a
the
smoke.
right spot, I mean, they might be able to do it, but it's gonna be ugly.
that
and
a
the
smoke?
timer is ticking.
It is ticking, but there's a plenty of time still for that defuse, so they have to work together to take this guy out.
They cooked it a little early,
Auto shotty on the top
but
side here.
swag's also
This is
under a
gonna
lot
be
of
a tough
tension.
one.
So
They kind of have an idea. There's one.
here's one. Oh,
And almost two. He's gonna
Oh.
have to push back. What can he do? Oh, and Hero.
ouch, bro! He got pre-fired. That's rough. They heard him coming and just started shooting before he even started peeking out. So as soon as he went to shoot, he was just gunned down early. Again, attackers have a lot more health. They move slower, but they have more health, which means if they know you're gonna push aside, go the opposite. But it's again hindsight's 2020 to be fair, so that's a tough one.
Says no. We're taking at least one round in this set.
It's kind of a weak transition.
An amazing play. An amazing read here
There-
from the attackers.
Unfortunately, Ghost wasn't really ready on his side. He wasn't ready to talk, so he was kind of like, "Oh shit, get ready to go." We both have done that a bunch here. I hear things sometimes. Unfortunately, we were both not like. I was kind of talking, and suddenly this like, the flow just kind of like stopped, which I didn't really hand that over very well to Ghost. To be fair, I don't think Ghost was ready either, which is okay. again, this is a fun tournament. We're having a good time. This is more of a celebration than it is like a serious esports professional top tier broadcast. This is for fun.
There's some notes.
So I mean, we are going in depth, but there's things to learn from what we did. But I'm not. This is not some highfalutin. Okay.
So if you're a
just keep that in mind.
new player, kind of looking at what you want to do. Step 1.
So it might be good, I think, in that sense, as a note, to make transitions easier to pick up on. That's gonna be something for me to work on. So when I bring something over, I have a statement that you can easily understand is the end of my point. Right? It's a topic or a transition. A way to visually hear it, even if your eyes are closed, that I'm done talking. Like this. Or maybe even like this. Or that. It's a way for you to understand, hey, I'm done talking. It's time for you to now fill in that gap. Right? You kind of throw the ball to you versus being like, that is, it's tough to pick unless you're like sitting there like, oh, ready to go. If you're not primed and like sitting there like hands on the trigger, like you're ready to shoot, you're not going to pick up on that one. And it's one of those like, oh shit. Or let's say you're like drinking something and you're like, oh shit. And then you gotta like set it down and like get ready to go. It happens. Happens a lot online, especially because it's like you're not there with the person to see what they're doing to know like, hey, it's ready for me to talk or like not ready to talk, right? You don't know what's gonna happen, so you end up kind of like just hoping they're ready to go. And sometimes both of us have been caught off guard. Plus, you also have internet delays because again, you're not in real time. There's at least a millisecond or 2 milliseconds of delay between you finishing talking, the signal getting to me, to then not only to hear that it happened, but that it did happen. So there's a delay on top of everything else that makes it like, especially if they're caught off guard, you end up with that Zoom call style delay. So, I mean, the timing thing is tough when you're online, as you can tell. I've never, also to be frank, I've never casted in LAN. I've only ever casted online. So I'm used to it, but I'm also aware that it's like one of those things that's hard to really, unless you're really in the zone with somebody and you guys are casting all the time, it's hard to get reads super good. But I can make my transitions better on that.
Don't have two of
something I could work, something for me to work on.
Eat a grenade.
Ghost is doing great, by the way. I'm good, okay. People seem to like my casting. I don't like it myself, but some people like it.
That is just unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's not much strategy to that one.
Swag was in a really fucked spot there. They gave him the best chance he could relative to what he had there. Auto shotty in there could be good. The problem is against APs, these things are just fucking overpowered for attackers. They literally shoot close range, far range. They they're really, really good. I do swear on their streams. It's hard to win against that, man. That's really tough. Auto shotty in a close spot though, again, at that point you're going for distance and surprise, which means if you can bait them out kind of playing long or expecting the wide push, in theory you can go shoot against them. But again, in a 3v1, you're not going to win that. Like, unless you got something special up your sleeve, like you can flash them or something. And even then, they're flash resistant for attackers, so you can't really do a lot. And the Molotov is good to hold off the push. It stops the inevitable, but it will not stop them entirely. And of course, when they know the timings for the Molotov, so when that Molotov ends, if you're getting ready to cook it and you throw it out there, they're going to see you and shoot you as you throw it out. They're going to kill you. Because again, defenders don't have a lot of health. They have movement speed, but they don't have health. Attackers don't have movement speeds, but they have extra health, which means if they're sitting there, they're gunned on your spot, they're waiting for you to make a play and just, blast you, right? So you really can't set up a lot. It's a really tough one for Swag.
I think it's just a little bit of social distancing might help in this case.
Yeah.
Social distancing would help in that case on the side there, where they fucking ate a grenade. That was frankly, I didn't even see the grenade. I was on we saw his POV. I didn't see shit. I just see him fucking like here, boom, and he's just fucking gone. So, shit, just don't stand close, I guess. Like, that's not a lot you can do about that one.
Yes,
to be
social
fair.
distancing from grenades is a very important idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the idea of what Anu wanted to do, but there really isn't much else planning that you can have when you're looking at that situation. I think I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I think the case is still out on whether or not putting a guy in vault works. I mentioned it in the last match with Pion. If you're a
Pion. I mean, it's not wrong. It's Pion.
Azo, if you're, Sachi, if you're one of those like absolute gamers,
Absolute gamers. I gotta write that down. That's pretty good.
and you're not me, you could do it.
Yeah.
It's easy. But I mean, at that point, it's a numbers game. I mean, there's 4 guys, 1 flash grenade. That just does not make it easy, you know.
That is very true there, and I think
Let me. I want to rewind the tape. Hold up. What was that transition?
You could
just
do it.
curious.
It's easy. But I mean, at that point, it's a numbers game. I mean, there's 4 guys, 1 flash grenade. That just does
Okay.
not make it easy, you know.
You know,
that is very true
that was actually pretty good for me.
there, and I think if that was going to be the win there for Swag, he had to hold him off with the Molotov. That was good, but almost what could have maybe worked there is pushing out with that Molotov. The barbed wire is going to be tough to run through, but if he could force them and kind of fork them out a little bit with that auto shot, he could run in there and try and go for the hull kill. But
Oh no, they had 3. I wasn't gonna win that. Like, no, but you could try. I mean, you at least you go down in a blaze of glory, but you tried. No matter he was fucked no matter what. If I'm being real with you, that was so hard to try and recover from. You weren't gonna get that, but you know.
ultimately,
Potentially.
still too late. It was, but
What was that?
Molotov,
I
the
missed
barbed wire
that.
is going to be tough to run through, but if he could force them and kind of fork them out a little bit with that auto shot, he could run in there and try and go for the hull kill. But ultimately,
Potentially.
still too late. It was, but
Bad read on my part there.
there we are. Red Operation Wolverine Fortuna now back on the sides here with swap teams, and now on the defense. This is an interesting approach here. They're going to go for the same stack up on Arcade. They're going to go for more of a wider spread so they can kind of escape if need be.
Well, you can see the defending team is already kind of planning for this drop.
Presently, they didn't up the tile set before playing. This was played in July, I believe, and they didn't update the tile set for December on this map.
Down sort of thing where they've got the barbed wires right next to the storefront window. Makes sense. But if you look at the placements for a lot of the alert markers and the flashbangs, they might be trying to do like a 3-2 split here for storage. Just unless again, those could just be
Defenders,
alert
yes.
pings.
Attackers, no.
You never
but-
really know. But yeah, they're even drawing where those barbed wires might be. I mean, it's good to know that, you know, no matter what's going on, the teams are still communicating. You can always tell the energy and kind of the mental state of like a 3-0 or like a 5-0 team based off of how they're drawing. So if you're still seeing them drawing, you're still seeing them chatting, that's a great sign. They haven't given up just yet.
Yeah, I mean, mind games, and especially like
Auto
mental games,
shotty,
especially
though?
is huge. And is that what I believe?
Auto
to be an auto
shotty
shotty
Igmar?
still?
Okay, I like it.
What? Okay,
Yeah, if
that's
he,
an
if he
interesting
parks
setup.
himself like in that corner where like the top right corner of storefront and just like
Like, sounds like I'm smoking a cigarette.
hides. Oh no, he's gonna sit storage. It's still a great
is he
spot. I mean,
cooking?
they got to go that direction anyways, and that's a great flanking position as well.
This is an interesting approach here from Roby in the.
I like it.
I like. This is gonna be all or nothing. Roby, he is.
This was a very big call to make to put auto shotting early on in round 1. That's in map 1. That's a very, very aggressive play. Winnable, yeah, maybe, but ultimately that is a very, very aggressive idea. Could it be effective? Maybe, maybe not. Oh,
Is
wrong button. There we
dangerously
go.
close here to taking a.
Oh no, he's gonna
Charge in
peek.
the
That's a
face
peek.
here.
He's gonna
Oh,
hear the stops. He's gonna run out.
Oh,
for
yeah,
broke.
doing it.
Observation.
Oh,
No!
no, he
What is Ghost doing? Bro, observation. Why are you watching marbles?
Go
choked
for
it.
broke.
He choked it.
Oh no! Oh man!
At least we get to hear what happened. We didn't get to see it, but at least we heard.
Roby might need the Heimlich maneuver after this one. As well, he's
Might need the Heimlich maneuver after this one.
trying to go through, but unfortunately, they will just kind of get info. There's players there, but lacking to take down Swag
Oh no!
in the meantime. That is rough. Looks like they're just shooting through the windows back and forth here. Drazzy taking some shots, but still staying alive. Dylan cleaning this up. Marbles in a good spot, though. If they do go for the drop through the skylight, they're going to be facing Marbles with the tub.
That is actually really good smoke. I missed that when I was watching it or
It is
casting it.
rough. Looks like they're just shooting
Who
through the
threw the
windows
smoke?
back and forth here. Drazzy taking some shots, but still staying alive.
Man.
Dylan cleaning this up. Marbles in a good spot, though. If they do go for the drop through the skylight, they're going to be facing
Oh no, that was actually not at
Marbles
Dylan.
with the tub.
Great smoke.
He's about to dump two amazing smoke. A really good position.
I kind of fucked that up actually.
Another fantastic smoke. They needed that, but Marbles about to get flanked from behind. He doesn't. Oh,
Uh oh.
Oh no, the game crashed.
server.
Server, please.
Uh-oh. Well, it would have been really good. Let's
Fuck.
hold on. Let's see. Let's see.
This was such a good
Is
match.
it all?
There's flashbang still going out. Smoke is still running.
Yep. We're still. The time is still
fucking
ticking
T-Tour's
down.
moment, dude.
Is it all over?
Oh,
People
they're
are
alive.
moving.
Hang on, we're good. We're good.
I think
It's a feature. Don't worry. It's just a feature. Don't worry.
Yes. This is intentional. This is a
Oh,
time-stopping
God.
feature. It's in development. Don't worry.
It's in development. Don't worry. Yeah.
Dylan, I mean, he got the 2K, but
Yeah. It's like a Max Payne kind of thing. They can slap down time.
Yeah.
Looks like
It's
they're
all
partially
going
back. Nice.
versus
This
three.
is kind of working.
we're a little fighting back and forth here on what to say. To be fair, the game shitting itself is not intentional. That was just the game being early access. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it launched?
Yeah. What a comeback here. We see them already on the bomb,
It is
defusing.
in
Right from behind
development,
Tank.
to be fair.
Hero
Yo,
trying to hold
yo.
on, but it's like
it's
they're
all
partially
going
back. Nice.
versus
This
three.
is kind of working. Yeah.
Hold on. What was that?
What a comeback here. We see them already on the bomb, defusing. Right from behind Tank. Hero
Yo,
trying to hold
yo.
on, but that it is. Whoa.
Tell me that the match isn't rigged. Tell me it isn't. They
Wow.
DDoSed them.
Oh.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm gonna say no comment. Obviously not rigging it, but like, I don't know, man. Like, if a match is actually being seriously questioned for being rigged, like, it's not good. Even if it's a shit posting one for fun, rigging, like, actually, like, accusations of rigging is kind of fucked up. So it's like one of those things you don't really joke about. I don't think you should joke about rigging because people do genuinely rig games to try and win money. Like, people do that shit for real. So, like, fucking making a joke out of it's kind of fucked up. Playing into the joke is also a little, I don't know if I agree with that per se, but it's a tough one.
Oh
Really
my
tough.
goodness!
Man.
Look at that. That was that.
Wow.
It opened up really ugly for our attacking team. I mean, I
It did.
was sweating as soon as I noticed Roby Roby,
Rowie?
excuse me, was right next to that door. I was like, oh no, he's about to
Oh,
get the clip that I usually end up in on the due process like Reddit of like, hey guys, let me check out this cool door kick I got, and I got a 5-piece. I'm usually that guy that's eating that. So
That's rough.
Oh.
it's a bit therapeutic to watch that, but it's also it really sucks in this competitive the setting because that was an auto shotty that they're not getting back, and there's a lot of good spots on the next two rounds that we're gonna be seeing that really
No, I don't know if he saw that, but did they pick up the ammo for that one? The auto shotty?
that auto shotty could really come in handy.
Lamau.
Yeah, that was so close. But unfortunately for him, a little bit of karma has struck back and struck hard on their chances there. So good.
We almost had that. Defenders almost won that, and if the game didn't Papega out, they probably would have actually won. Well, that's a good question. If the game didn't Papega out, would defenders have still won that? I don't know. Attackers were in a good setup, but it was a pretty even match at that point. But when it came back, everyone was just so confused. It was just kind of a fucking disaster. I don't know.
Adaptive, but
Yeah, I don't know. Well, God, this is gonna take me fucking like 3 hours.
I think it's just a case of like
how much?
Onu from
longer?
They Die. The match that we just
I'm gonna skip the dialogue. This is just like random talking and shit.
from the auto shot.
I'm gonna be here for like 5 hours if I don't
Even
skip
though it was a bit
little
of a cheesy steps, I really but the you can see
Now we're back. Okay.
We had to pause it for a little bit and to figure out what the fuck was going on and just talk about random shit. Didn't matter. Fuck. This is gonna take forever. Oh man. Oh, I'm already like I'm gonna go back to bed. How much longer do we have? 3:20. Fuck. All right.
Observation.
Well, dude, we're just doing one game. Holy shit. We'll see about the full half. I'll say that much.
And
We'll
it
see.
continues. Okay.
I
So
might
the
end a little
scores
early.
do indeed stand from that previous round. That's going to be 3-1. So
I don't know how to feel about that one being held on after being kind of a shit one. I mean, it's good to have it like not just go to fucking nowhere land, but equally, I don't know. Should they have played that out? Should that have counted? It's a good question.
Now with Onu looking pretty confident here, they could go for an aggressive strat on the top side. They could go for a beach. There is a red door on the very bottom they could really go for if they're really being a little silly, perhaps. Not too effective spot, but...
This could actually be a real... I said silly, but this could be a fucking shock and awe. The problem is, defenders can also see out here, so it would be really tough to do... Oh my god. Wait. You could slow play beach. Distract them. Go beach, distract them, and fucking shock and awe in jungle. Well, oh, what the fuck? Ollie. Huh? Oh, my phone hid that. My bad. I have the phone in my pocket here. I'm just looking at stuff in chat, mainly. No one's talking, but you know. Anyways. Woody.
Excuse me, sorry, I'm trying to just get my full screen. There it goes. All right, fabulous. Scrum. So already lit, and a saber. Okay, so
yeah.
these guys are expecting. You know, this is going to be a bit of a very close fight. I'm feeling. I'm not going to say that this is accurate, but I'm feeling like they're going to be trying to potentially. Oh, there's the auto shotty. Oh yeah, it's an ops push. Oh yes, sir.
You know it.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. Oh man. I'm hyped. This is going to be an awesome
I'm kind of with Chad on this one. I'm confused why that's super hyped.
one.
Oh yeah, they're stacking.
This could be a clusterfuck.
The good news is the defending team is prepping for a potential ops push, so they're good there.
The problem is this map, and I think looking at it now, it's kind of a missed call to see it as something exciting. It's more of a miss. If anything, it is a misplay because going. Oh, they did drop it. Thank God. Yeah, that would have been really stupid. This is such a big pit. Auto shotty, the drop off is like from here. It's probably like here. So with a lot of these being really long sidelines, it's not the call to make. Yeah, you'll get observation, but these are such long lines. It's kind of a bad call.
Eclipse doesn't look like that they're really playing nearly as far back as Anu did, though. I mean, you can see the difference. There's 3 players in observation.
Excuse me.
Anu had like 3 guys in jungle, like the other side of the map. Now that worked out really well for them because their opening pick, you know, the opening double on observation just worked out. But let's see. Auto shotty is where is our auto?
Let's see what happens.
Auto shotty is sitting on the.
No, the attacking team took it off.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
sad.
Interesting.
Also, we missed it earlier on, but is it Marbles that threw the Molotov?
Where is our auto?
Yeah, Marbles threw the Molotov for the truck,
Auto shotty is sitting on the.
which is a very interesting call.
No, the attacking team took it off.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
sad.
Interesting.
Big sad.
The thing is, the AP 25 is so good all the way around, though. It's really great damage.
Oh, it is.
But here comes Drazzy, going for the outside peek, going for info, and decides to run away. They are heavily invested in pit.
The smoke.
Hopefully not a pitfall for him, but let's see if they can keep
That was pretty good.
this
That
alive.
was a good quip.
Kind of holding the side here back and forth. What do you see?
You can literally see Dylan through his POV.
Well, they're also split pushing to beach, though, so they're not all invested into pit. Are they aware of that, though? Looks like defense are not even really paying attention. They haven't seen anybody in beach or at least paid attention to that just yet.
I say that, but they Molotov the truck earlier, so that was actually not like in the moment of what was happening for that second. It was
So
probably
far,
less
it's
important.
a bit of a hold back and forth here. Good Molotov for the off push here. We see
I feel like we're just like behind on the stream. Like my mic view is delayed from the POV view.
them
We got
about
a
to push
guy
in.
like at the bottom of jungle.
Oh.
I don't know if the casters.
Oh,
There's
shit.
only 4 guys in pit.
Oh, but lagging and
Crazy
Drazzy will
rotate?
take down. No, yeah, he's rotating back and forth here. But we do see the observation push kind of
This is the problem with doing POV views. Is that you don't see the entirety of the match.
halted by attackers. But on the other side, on the very bottom here,
It's good for maybe like players and to see like the intensity of the action, because with Kildom especially and with due process in general, it's tough to kind of get what's actually happening from the player's POV. If it's just a map view, yeah, you can see the entire match, but you don't feel like you're in the match. You just feel like a dude watching a match. Like you just feel like a god kind of watching these players shoot each other, and you see this sort of like overall UAV sense of what's happening, but you don't really feel like you're playing the match or you're in the match, right? So it's good to have that, but observing it is fucking really hard. It's one of those things where like if you could in person, it'd be good to have like 2 observers. Maybe, you know, they had I think 1 map view, like 2 POVs, one of them being Solaric, who's trying to run production on this thing, which is tough. Like he's doing a lot of work. If they can get like 3 observers, like 1 map view dude for us casters, 2 observers, 1 for attackers, 1 defenders, and they then swap around between their sides, to what they think is biggest POV, that could be super helpful
Superman
in the
tried
future.
to clear that out here with, of
It seems like
course,
they kind of tried to do that.
Decadence. Marble's still hiding, but will
See, there's the POV again. We can kind of see it. But look on the bottom side here.
he be spotted? Oh, he's
Bottom
still
side, bottom
hiding
side.
behind. Go seeking.
There we go.
Can he come from behind? and
Perfect.
get it?
Big roll.
Marbles.
Nice.
Oh,
One.
Oh, almost.
Oh man, it's down to the
Come on, buddy.
2v4 here. Attackers are in a tough spot. Superman's still alive and swag, now coming in from behind. But Drowsy's
I don't even play it on Kill Dome.
already on the bomb. The other defenders are in a good position.
Oh,
to
I'm
counter.
taking
They
that
do go for
down,
a push,
but
they're going to go for something.
yeah, I
a little
never
bit.
did.
I was surprised, I guess, to go to jungle instead of observation. They're still thinking observation is going to be the push, but it could be. Could be a bit of a surprise, but no, they're going to instead go for that jungle side. But Drowsy's holding the line there, and he does have that teammate to help him out.
Wait. What did I just call?
Observation. They're still thinking observation is going to be the push, but
Still observation push?
it could be.
They got
Could be a bit of a
jungle.
surprise, but no, they're going to instead go for that jungle side. But Drowsy's holding the line there.
Jungle is an easy call for
And
this.
he does have that
That was-
teammate
that
to
was a
help him out,
miscall.
lacking holding position. The entire team is together here. It's going to be a 2v4 here, and two sights aimed down at Swag and Superman. It's going to be so tough.
This,
See if he
yeah,
can do
and the
it.
doors are currently closed. And yeah,
That's
Ooh.
it. Yep.
Traded.
Trade back and forth. Oh, Swag's still in the battle here. 3v1.
4 seconds.
Chance.
It's
yeah, Swag's not going to get it.
1825
but-
save.
Yeah, interesting choice. to
Boom!
keep
Goes
going,
the
but
dynamite.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Unfortunately, defenders played it well. Stopped the ops push, and that was all they had.
Dude, Pit was OP as hell for defenders. And with that setup, especially not being spread out on jungle, focusing all your fire there, because especially with observation, they stopped the push dead in its tracks, right? They had the defender there with the KR really holding the line. Attackers had nowhere to go. They lost their observation push and went, shit, I'm out of luck. That's the problem with those heavy strats like that. It's all or nothing, and you got to commit.
So
Even if you think you're going to die, you got to run through it. And they just kind of were so passive and so, like, trying to, like, play the odds. They had jungle, sure. Like, they pushed on the sides and got part of jungle cleared out. But they had to break down the door to get into the pit to try and go for it. Observation as a play would have made a little more sense late game. Early in the round, though, they were so invested in it, it could have been a surprise for them, for sure. But, they had a little bit of economy left, but Swag...
Yeah,
trying to save it
just play
isn't a
all the
bad
way around
call.
there, where we saw defenders,
And they
had a
do
really
actually
good
keep it
idea in
all,
mind.
so
they kind of knew to hold their
not too
side.
bad.
They were so focused on observation that it was a little bit interesting to kind of be so, like it was a
Mm-hmm.
good call, yes, but they have to kind of move on from that too. They can't just sit in observation forever. It's good to have a couple of people there, yes, in the beginning if you get the call right, fantastic. But you do mid, and late game there have to kind of push out a little bit. It's good to be working together, but you can also clear together too. You don't have to just sit in one spot and just kind
I'm talking way too much. This is for Color to do, not for me. But I feel like at times it was kind of a back and forth, but either times we were kind of holding on the ball a little too long there, right? In dodgeball, you got to throw it to your teammates and throw to get people out, right? You can't just hold the ball and just keep on not letting go. And I think a couple times we both were like, we want to say the thing, we want to say the whole thing. Like we don't do like little quips to then throw it to the other person to finish the quip. We kind of just like we start a whole point, throw it to you. Say the whole point, throw it back to me. Like you kind of like had all of the ball, throw it all that way. There wasn't really a back and forth to it, right? There's definitely a like 1-0. Not much of a blend. I think that's
of hold it down.
kind of a I'd say it's a miscall on my part in some ways. I don't want to say both, but like that's just kind of how our style ended up at the time, right? I don't know if there's a way I could try and fix that. Well, is there a way to try and fix that where it's I guess it's important to in that sense throw it to make smaller points and share with caster. Oh, let me just zoom down a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Share with and share. Especially share the fucking point. Because we're not talking to right now, we're not really casting together. We're casting with each other, but not together. Right? Like it's supposed to be two sides working together. It's a total picture, right? If it's supposed to be like I don't know, this is my square diagram. This is kind of a shitty diagram. Right now we're kind of like two total sides working together and not two squares working together. Like we're two total sides that are kind of like close to each other, but we're not together. We're not a total object. We're two side objects. And we're okay side by side, but if we work together, we're a lot bigger, a lot more powerful. But especially in this one, I think I was a little bit maybe this is probably my fault for this, frankly. We weren't really working to like as one. We were working in two little sections, which I mean, there's times where it's candy, but I think this, especially for this broadcast, it might have worked better together. But that's life.
For the lines here.
Because sometimes it's easy to just hear our call and be like, "Oh, well, that's just dumb. I'm just dumb." I mean, I am stupid, but
Can
that's
move around
beside
as
the
a
point
group together
in this case.
and clear things out and kind of keep things under for a total map control because they gave a lot more jungle than they needed to for that one.
I was gonna say that was my. I was gonna bring that up as well. I think if the guys that had pushed beach, if they just kind of waited a little bit long, or excuse me, if the guys that were pushing observation had waited a little bit longer to let the guys in beach kind of, the guys in beach pushed, got through almost all of jungle until that absolutely gamer rotate by marbles came through and went nuts. If they had still been alive, then I think the guys in observation and pit would have felt a little bit more pressure. But since they dealt with the guys in observation, there was only one door that the guys at jungle, or the eventually guy at jungle, was going to be able to utilize. And one of the biggest things for defenders is if you can split them up, they will crumble much easier. But when if there's 4 guys looking at one door, there's only so much you can do. You are not Neo from the Matrix. You can't dodge bullets like you can in many other games.
Ooh, excuse me. Oh my
You
god.
will eat them very badly. There's a reason attackers have more health.
We are very much doing like A/B casting right now.
That is very, very true. And now on Operation Dream Trident, we're seeing an interesting setup here. Defenders are really...
I'm gonna do one more of these. There's about 10 minutes left in the match. I'm gonna be here for like 2 hours if I gotta take it part every round. But we'll finish this game, wrap it up, and we'll play the game out. It's not very long. There's about 20 more minutes left. So we'll do that. I'll try and stop a little less and diatribe a little less, but yeah,
really,
let's keep going.
They're guarding the button heavily, but not really the bomb side as much. They have probably looks like one defender there with a barb, but otherwise, the interesting thing is the wall charge from from the lobby there into accounting for like a fast bomb defuse maybe with a grenade to clear out barbed wire, which they're already expecting because it's easy to do, easy to throw, pretty much no cost at that point. This could be an interesting setup here for attackers, but defenders, I don't know. We'll see.
I like the idea from the attackers. They're kind of...
That was a long freaking dialogue about Dream Trident that I basically just did Color's job for them. Again, I'm really bad about this. Make smaller points and share. Or point and share. Do not... what's a good way to phrase it? Like, keep... if I can only do like a little bit in between to be better. There we go. Keep it tight and short. Keep it tight and short with topics. I think that's how I'm going to try and rephrase that, because it's not bad necessarily what I'm doing, but it's just a little bit much. It's a little long. We're both like doing these really long, like, it's like taffy, right? We're just kind of like really stretching it out super wide. And like, it's good to bring up topics like this, but it's good to bring up topics when there's a long pause. These rounds and these in-betweens are not very long, so it can be like, we're drawing it out the taffy a little too long, where it's like, now it's starting to kind of blur into the other round, another match at this point. So, a bit of a must call. It can be complicated because sometimes that can be nice, but it seems like it's a little bit long to me.
I'm just assuming like get in, breach the door, hit the button, and then just try and kind of bulldoze their way through. But
to be fair, the second half of these games, because we already know the map, a lot of the map dialogue that we did in the first half, or the first time playing through, because we had the extra knowledge of how these teams already played in the first half, can make it for more complex and deep conversations in the second half. To be fair.
Oh boy. Okay, so instead of putting one guy in there, we'll put 2. That's all right. Let's see how it goes now.
Ghost really does not like this. It's every single time every team does this, which is really funny. It annoys him, and it gives me a little smile.
To be fair,
I also like this, top 2. I do want to mention, you now can see which side defenders or attackers won. So you can see, oh, this is the defense team. This is the defenders team. Excuse me. This is the attacking team, right?
We've been seeing that Onu is kind of gaming, but
I'm not going to say who won the game if you haven't seen this
the
before.
one game
but
that I think Eclipse has as
see what
the
happens.
attacking win is when there was a guy in Vault. So we'll have to see. I am a doubter. I will admit I am a
You're
doubter.
a doubter?
But,
Oh,
I have
man.
been proven wrong before. And Lord knows I'll be proven wrong many more times. But they're in, and so far so good. No fatalities getting to lobby. Usually kind of turns into a bit of a turkey shoot, trying to just get enough people through that door. And usually there's a Molotov guarding it as well. But it's interesting. The attackers are actually kind of holding this wall charge a lot longer than you'd expect for like a Vault rush.
Yeah, they're really kind of playing it slow here, but they're kind of just clearing out the lines as need be. But equally,
Swag's got
defenders
that
are
auto
not
shotty,
really making
though.
a whole lot else. Oh, he does. However, so far so good for the attackers here. They're going on a bit of a weird strat here. Are they going to go towards the outside to try and bait it, maybe? Yeah, they're going outside. Oh, I guess they're faking
No,
the outside
clearing,
play.
Yeah, they're clearing west to east now.
Interesting. They're just kind of looking for
Interesting way to slice up the
making
map.
sure all their boxes are checked off before they go for the full send here towards that side.
It is a full send. They're gonna breach the wall, hit the button, and then
There
just
it is.
I do want to mention real quick, there is no way to access this without going through this section here. So you actually cannot transition over here. It's basically, this is a red door entrance. This is a different entrance entirely. So the map is very cut off in that sense, which means, again, if you rat up like they are right now, this is very defense heavy. This is super, super good for defenders. Attackers are going to have to try and clear this out. And they don't have a lot of ways to clear it, right? Now, what they're going to do is actually really fucking smart by, pardon my French, by running through this side here. That's a smart call. However, defender map. And this is with a map that is... Traditionally, this is actually swap sides. So they actually won the first two and then lost the third, right, in the set.
Dog pile onto Vault.
Yeah, they're going for it.
It's a good call.
Here comes the push up from defenders, though. Attackers going in. Looks like we'll
Go
get
for the
one
button early on.
from,
Oh!
Hero there. The Superman will
Oh
get the
my
trade up. Swag will another one.
god!
Superman as well,
Holy!
just wiping the floor with those defenders.
Jesus!
It's all down to the two remaining in the
Why
bomb
is it showing
area there.
Swag?
Are they
Oh,
gonna
Swag has
survive? They're
that.
gonna hold on for
Superman
dear life.
stole the kill! No way!
Or is it going to be a swipe? Marbles gets one.
Oh.
Draxi will get the other
Oh,
one.
oh,
How many
oh, oh.
are left in the fight?
Good rotation
Still
back. Observation's killing it, man. They're doing great. Our casting is kind of mid, though.
2v2 now, as they've taken on the push pretty well.
The tones aren't bad, but again, it's like the energy just seems like it's sort of... It's not really...
Well, wave 2, clear them out. Superman and Swag about to come
It
here.
is wave 2, bro. They're
A little bit
They're-
surprised
for
that they
anything.
chose to go for a 2v2 when they have
going for
four.
battle buddies.
You have numerical
Yeah.
advantage. You have a flashbang, and here comes the
Oh,
AP-25 1v1.
One. Are they going to get
Superman,
it? Who's going to clutch it?
sheesh.
Draxi, Superman, Draxi.
There it is.
Will come out on top.
What an upset. What?
Well, wave
I need
2.
a, I need
clear
an
them out.
instant replay.
And Swag
I need to see that
about
again.
come here. Slowly
A
looking
little
for
bit
angles,
surprised
looking
that
for
they
anything.
chose to go for a 2v2
No way.
when they have 4.
Swag is at 1 HP.
You have numerical
Yeah.
advantage. You have a flashbang, and here comes the AP-25
What happened?
1v1.
Oh, Superman won the battle against Marbles on this side. It was down to just Drazzy. Swag was taken out at least. Like Drazzy took out Swag and Superman took out Marbles. But Superman battling against
Are they going to
Drazzy.
get it? Who's going to clutch it? Draxi, Superman, Draxi.
There it is.
Wow.
Will come out on top.
Superman.
Wow. Ending the half in
What
a
a
tie
freaking
3-3.
upset.
That is just amazing gameplay here. Really amazing calls here from
Go
defenders.
NFT.
Attackers with a good strap, but ultimately it was just the,
Oh, that's
the double
rough.
investment.
That is rough,
That
buddy.
double, and you
That's
know what?
rough.
They come up on top.
Interesting. Closing quip isn't bad. Interesting. Interesting call.
You know, sometimes
Yeah, I don't have anything to say really about that one. It was just sort of a weird back and forth round. The way it's like mid round was kind of mid, and not in the sense that it was obviously mid, but like just not super great. It was okay. It not gonna win any awards.
just like the stocks, you put money into a machine, and the machine prints out more money. It just kind of works. You know, it's easy.
It just kind of works. Thought Howard
But
approves.
I will challenge the fact that I'm very surprised by Anu's decision to go in. Like, they knew how many, you know, you can see the enemy team. You know how many people are still alive. They knew that there were only 2 guys in still alive. They had to be involved. Why not just wait? You know,
Well, they had to defuse the bomb. Attackers had to wait. Like attackers had to go in.
they
Defenders
had
just played it better. When it came down to it, in a similar situation where they're both in vault trying to clear it out, defenders, and mind you, they had a 2. They They doubled up their investment, which did work out for them. If it was a single player like they did on the last time they played on that map, it didn't work out. On the second set there, by playing it with 2, that worked out.
Time they were able to, they had the utility. You know, I'm kind of coping, but when I say this, you had numerical advantage.
It wasn't
Why not
wrong with that.
Just use numbers. Use numbers. You know, make plans. Shoot
Should they? I mean, it was a 4v2. They did fuck it up pretty badly there.
plans. Easy.
Like they wanted aggro to try and clear it up quick. They got their ass kicked. Tried to go again, and they really got their butt whooped. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning.
You could do that,
You
or
I just drank like 40 ounces of Red Bull and I'm falling asleep.
Good.
You
Yes.
think-
But in fact,
you could. But I think rather they were kind of like, well, you know what? We had to clean this out super well. We won our fights on the inner side here. We can just kind of go in and wipe the floor out. This round's already over. I got under control. Easy.
Fair enough.
I'll go in there,
Yeah,
2-push,
easy
and go
peasy.
in, and they got caught out. It happens more times than we expect, as we just saw.
But moving into factory now.
I don't know. The post-ending dialogue was okay, but again, as some clip as before, it's surface level. Needs to be deeper. I already noted that on mine, so I'm not going to add that again.
As there is no auto shotty at play, I believe the mop and the saber are still options here for both teams. So we'll probably see some pretty.
One thing I do want to work on or make a note of is I'm gonna put a note on here. Work on breathing into microphone. Mic question mark. So on this one, right, I have a noise gate on right now. So when I breathe out, you're not hearing me breathe in theory into your ears, because that's annoying. Because nobody wants to hear someone like, okay, I'm not Darth Vader, okay? This is not a shit post. If I turn off the noise gate, you're now hearing everything, including my fan. Wait, it's not, why is it not, hold on a second. Yeah. What? Interesting. Maybe that's not, what the heck? Why is this not doing what I asked it to do? One second. Why? Oh, noise suppression on. There you go. You can hear that fan play, right? Or the fan doing what it's doing, which is doing a fantastic job. There we go. Filter's back on, so it's not a little more bearable. But when you're like the mouth sounds I make, the breathing sounds, being able to talk while breathing, or while breathing while talking, at least, is super essential. My brain, it's essential to have that clear dialogue and to make sure it's not picking up junk you shouldn't hear, things you don't want to talk about, or other sounds you don't want to hear. Ultimately, end of the day, it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, it needs to be impactful. And if you're hearing gross, if you're hearing like breathing sounds, because I can't breathe through my nose and I have to breathe through my mouth, that's a problem, right? Now I'm doing a pretty good job of not like exaggerating it, but with a mic that's super close to your mouth, some of that you're just gonna have to pick up, especially if there's no noise gate. So if I swap over real quick, give me a quick second. Turn on the source. Bloop. 1 second. Wait. All right, welcome back to our broadcast headset style. Oh god, it's loud. Now with it like this, you can actually hear the breath sounds a lot more exaggerated because it's closer to my mouth, which means I need to either position it a little lower with mic placement, go a little bit lower so it's a little bit more kind of going for the side view, or better yet, get out of the main view of the mouth, right? Because a lot of times with mic placement, it's about getting the levels right, about getting your positioning right? Now mind you, oh, sorry. Okay, that's hopefully a little better. I can see it peaking here, and I know it's gonna be bad for you. Apologies. Mic placement especially is all about making sure you get the levels correct for where you're talking from, and not be too close, not be too far, right? You got to be perfect. My freaking filter is not quite set right. Okay, that looks better. Anyways, it has to be close enough, but not too close, but also positioned in the right way that makes it so you hear it and not hear it. Hold on 1 second.
All right, sorry about that interruption. Excuse me, introduction eruption. I don't know. My brain is in a million places right now. But yeah, so I'm not gonna shift myself. Anyways, mic placement's really important. And this one I was definitely a little more forward than I should be. And with it like this, that means all the sounds of breathing is caught into the microphone, which doesn't sound great, right? You don't want to hear and all the time. You just want to hear the person talking. You want to hear just the dialogue. That's essential. And straight up, just rotating it like this to where you just have it talking in this position will solve most of those problems. And especially just positioning it out of the way a little bit and upping the gain. This will solve 90% of the problems I was having. The other issue is that I talk very quietly, which means everything has to be amplified around that, and it makes it really tough to level. If you talk naturally very loudly, you'll beat out most background sounds. So the signal to noise in a loud environment, it's going to amplify it and make it a lot worse. So I need to work on mic placement for my headset if I'm going to be using it like this, especially for a broadcast, somewhat serious broadcast environment. So, or at least trying to sound professional, right? I try to sound like it. Am I actually professional? Not really, but you know, it's good to try. You know, I think putting in the effort's worth it, especially when it's literally just like, oh, sorry. Especially when it's like not too hard, right? You just have to rotate a little bit, and all of a sudden now it sounds better. You know, it's not hard to make it sound great. You just got to try a little bit. But as you can tell, I think most of it actually can filter out pretty well, which is nice. Usually, I think on the actual broadcast, we just had this. And with it just like this, all the breathing sounds were in clear view, which is not super good. So, in my opinion, if I can actually breathe while talking and not have to bounce it back and forth, it's a lot better. Anyways, explanation aside, I'm going to go ahead and swap back over. Because this mic is okay. It's good for the professional sense of sounding very, very sort of condensed and flat. I like to use it for especially on-camera broadcasts because this thing, when it covers my face, people don't like it as much. But 9 times out of 10, that mic sounds better. This mic doesn't sound as good, but there's also the traditional broadcast sound. So anyways, back to the other one. We'll power it up and let it rip. I'll toss that to the side. And where in the hell are my headphones at? Here are my headphones. Oh, wrong way. In case you're wondering, these are Sennheiser HD660Ss. Got them on the Amazon sale for $300 US, which is amazing because they're $550 US normally. So, super nice. Anyways, back to the topic at hand, which is our casting and mic placement. Yes, I need to work on that. Very important. Anyways, back to this.
Pretty gnarly long angles here as both teams set up. You know, looking at factory here, I gotta say, I would really, and this is just kind of, you know, my kamikaze bronze brain here thinking.
Kamikaze bronze brain, I love it.
And then you wall charge into storage. Who's gonna stop you, my man? Like that is if you want to play real aggression, like Gnome's aggression, that would be crazy.
Wall charge storage? That's ballsy.
You could do that, yes. I think it could be pretty effective too if you timed it correctly within the split push main server farm, where you can kind of pincer it.
Oh,
the problem is a good part.
Half and half. That'd be insane, dude. That'd be wild as fuck. I'd watch that.
Wire though will just stop that immediately.
That's the kind of thing you would see in like amateur leagues. The pros would never do that, but amateur leagues that are more fun to cast, if I'm being honest, they would do that kind of dumb shit. It'd be fun. And we'd be like, oh my god, they're going for it. Oh, crazy. And they get wiped. But, you know, it was really cool. Maybe it could have worked. It would have worked. But you know what? I can dream. We can dream a dream.
And the tracks.
But
good Molotovs and good counter franks as well from the top side there. The thing you got to watch out for is those upper fans. They're looking to actually split push fan, and it looks like maybe even go for the bottom side, perhaps. I'm curious to see how they're going to play this one back and forth. Or just go for an all fans push here. But
use one breach on
I think that'd be a little too fantastic, if you ask me.
Did they use a breach for bank? I don't recall.
Yes.
They did a wall charge.
They used a wall charge, but they still have at least one breach. So yeah, no, I like this.
They did a breach
makes
and a
sense.
wall
So then
charge.
they'll probably
They breached into the
split
lobby.
push of server farm
So-
works because they probably unless they have no they already used the. Do they use the torch? So they might be able to open docks.
No, they didn't use the torch.
They could.
Torch still available.
It could.
The question is, will they?
Well, based off the utility available, the answer is no.
I don't know.
But we are going to see.
That's-
I like the pipeworks open.
I'm gonna pause real quick. This is an interesting one. Throwing it back and forth, it's not bad in theory, but it really does seem like there needs to be. I'm not sure. AB is not what I'm talking about, where it's like they need to have like one or the other only, but it kind of feels like we're almost on, again, two individuals side by side. We're not working together, and that's you know what I mean. And it is what it is. I'm not. My brain is running out of words to say, but that's in essence.
And then it's probably
one
going
of
to be
the
into a
things
server
I'm
farm. So again, it's going to be a nice, top right to bottom left push, and that'll give them good control. Power is on the other side of the map, so it's not going to be an NVG push, which is totally fine. But hey, 3 guys in with almost no resistance whatsoever is always really nice as an attacker.
Yeah, they've gotten all the way inside their marbles, trying to go for long picks across there. Couldn't quite get the kill in there. A little bit of damage done back and forth, but really the battle in office is underway, and Asbo wins his fight against Roby. Superman will take down Hero, but Marbles will trade on to Asbo, and Marbles will actually get down there and traded by Decadence. But now it's down to just Drazzy, and unfortunately...
I say but now a lot, so I need to thesauricize my vocabulary. Vocab. Add words. Very fucking important. I'm like repeating a lot of things. A lot.
Lacking there. Going back and forth. Black will take one onto Dylan, but will he get the other kills? They're pushing back and forth here in this slog. They're trying to clear out storage. Drazzy's still on the bomb. Bomb hasn't been armed yet, so they can't quite defuse. Superman will take down Drazzy. All down to Lacking, last alive in a 3v1 here. Will he win the close fight? No. Superman keeps it in control. 3 kills for him. That's the round. And attackers. Clean sweep.
Yeah, I was a little mid. I wasn't super hot. I wasn't feeling that one, Chief. If I'm being honest with you. It wasn't bad. Actually, oh my god, hold on. I forgot. I forgot. There we go. Okay, hopefully a little better for y'all. So you don't hear the stupid freaking fan noise like a freaking 5-minute streamer. Anyways, that ending was a little meh. I mean, it was a weird round to end on, and frankly, I was mentally confused at what just happened. How somehow defenders kind of just fucked that up, just by having a really great setup. Attackers really just fucking... They befuzzled me, and they befuzzled the team.
This is getting scrappy. I tell you what, I was trying to look at like what the methodology to the madness for the attackers was. They got that Pipeworks open, and then it just came down to all of these like these little gun games, these gun trades between the different players. And I want to point out, I think Swag has like -1 HP right now. I don't even see his health bar. Yeah. Very close there. But then
he's living on the Swag life, bro.
For the team, always kind of helped out. But Superman went crazy. Got like a 3-piece for this.
All right. It's been about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. I do need to take lunch. If I can take lunch, come back in like 5 or so. I'm going to let it play out with the previous round. Let me write down the time. 260. 02. Oh god, hello. 02:59. Oh my god, hello. 59. We're going to come back at this time. This timestamp, at least. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to go take lunch. I'm going to go to a previous round, let it play out, and just kind of let the thing play out while I'm getting my lunch. When we come back, we'll do more of this, and we'll probably just keep to this one game, because this is going to be a lot to talk about. Every single round has something that we can bring up. Most things I think I've covered at this point for the match, for dialogue between us, me and Ghost at the time. We also have the post-game analysis we need to cover as well, so a little bit left. The game has been interesting, back and forth toss-up. Pretty even, actually. So, all well and good, but I do need to eat. I'm, like, falling asleep, and I can barely even focus. So, I'm going to be right back, but I'm going to go ahead and skip to a different part. That's an actual game here. The ending one was, I don't know, the final I found was kind of boring, frankly. So, let's go for something a little different. What is this one? Who is this?
Has been kind of the key for most of these rounds. Now,
oh, shit. Gnomes are fucking popping off, dude. Holy. All right. Let's pop into this one. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I was like, okay, Gnomes has this in a bag. But now, after this round, Miss played
this. We only have, so few casts to look
sick.
at. And, getting these really good matches is
all right, I'm going to be right back.
But I don't know. Mist isn't going down without a fight. They're making Gnomes work for it, for sure.
Oh, nar. Hold on.
And I got to say, I'm I'm very interested to see.
Hold on a
how they can
minute.
keep the momentum,
I'm
'cause, I mean,
dumb.
if it gets into a really scrappy fight, the
Ah.
biggest thing for a lot of teams is
Oh,
it
yay.
really comes down to whether or not you can win
Oh my
your
God,
your
dude.
defense rounds. Because
What
traditionally
the
speaking,
hell?
the flashbangs are so strong for attackers that
Oh my God.
there's usually like it's like, oh well, this map is attacker sided. Oh, this
I'm
map
actually
is
dumb.
defender sided. So
Don't
you
mind
kind
me.
of expect those rounds.
Ah.
But hey, teams
This is what you get for not
we're now
preparing.
back on the wonderful Grand
I
Jackal,
never
because shout out to
use
the-
BRB,
the,
so
unique map spawning, but again, we should in giant air quotes see the mop. We might in
should.
giant air
A lot of
quotes
things
see
we
the
should
saber,
see.
because last time that's exactly what happened, and that went so well for our attacking team.
sick.
Don't remind
All
me.
right.
That was the first round.
Perfect. I'll be right
I
back.
don't know what happened there, but I mean, Mist got back from it, so
This
good
is
for
this
them.
and that is that. But we do. I mean, you can see even the defenders are like, all right, there's going to be probably 3 beach. That makes sense. 2 on the.
Really
on the
disappointed
northern
to
side of
not
Castle.
again not see
Mhm.
anyone going observation or pit. Like
It just doesn't make sense. There's no way to
Yeah,
like
I know.
benefit from it. You know.
it really doesn't. Like it's such a bad entrance,
Mhm.
but it makes this map a little bit repetitive. But it's still
yeah, just a
interesting
little
because
bit.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
no
It's-
mop
it's
again
interesting
though.
Because going through base is very
Look at
difficult.
that. And no saber this
Yeah.
time either. It's just
That's
the
a
AP
full
25.
AP team. What?
All
Like-
right,
like-
let's go. I'm liking
Not
this.
even
We've got
a tar.
yeah, we've got flashbangs. We have no grenades, so I'm a little bit worried because this tells me they're going. It's almost like a full castle bait. Like they're gonna try and just push their luck with like a 3-2.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they have anybody go for beach just with the weapons they have. But hey, I've been wrong before. Lord knows I'll be wrong again.
Yeah, I have no idea what Gnome's plan is here. Really, it looks very
They're
weird
about to get
me,
that
but
bread.
we'll
That's what they're about to get.
We will see what they pull off.
So it is a 3-2 split.
It is.
And
mean, it
but
makes
they have
sense.
no grenade. How are they gonna handle the barbed wire and castle?
Well,
That's
Molotov a bit late. Index is cut off by the other side. Castle breached. Matt gets the first kill here already from in castle. That was
yeah, in castle.
That worked, I guess. Obsidian was not looking the right way, I guess, or
Mm-hmm.
not getting the shot anyway. Now they're pushing very aggressively on base, getting Saturns down here, and getting Keisha.
They're
This
just
works
crumbling.
really well. They're just pushing extremely aggressively, making all the angles short and taking advantage of the AP25. Matt did not manage to push the castle, but Zooks
They can defuse, though. Yeah, they can force defuse.
Trade. No, they can first defuse. Yeah, so front got Scoot, but they're 3 on base now, and bombs on 90. So this round definitely goes to Gnomes.
And they can't.
Wow.
Yeah, and they can't defuse. So
I'm-
there you go. That was, it. Just kill people. It works every time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
just kill people. It
It's
works. They.
You can
What are
skip and make
grenades?
plans if you just shoot mans, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Make plans, shoot mans. Easy. Another day, another dollar for our attacking team. And all right, well, Gnomes has woken up. Apparently, what is planning? What is planning when you just shoot mans?
Yeah, I guess.
God.
I mean,
They make it look
they've
so
just-
easy.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of. I mean, I guess their plan was literally though, like, let's go super aggressive and take APs, because like they like as much as we like fool around a little bit, it made sense. Like their playstyle matched their equipment, right? Like there was a plan behind this. The
Oh,
plan was
absolutely, absolutely.
To just push in really, really, really hard and take advantage of the shorter angles, and the defenders did not manage to like get the long range advantage and. Paid for it. So
I
3-1
just
for
don't think that the
Gnomes.
defenders respected the castle push. I mean, that
Yeah,
first
I
initial
guess.
kill
Yeah.
inside castle was so
That was
pivotal because
crucial.
first blood, first death, whatever you want to call it, it's such a momentum changer in this game. Because I mean, as long as you have 1 HP, you can still fire your gun. You hit 0, you're done. There's nothing left for you. And having 2 guys with okay weapons in castle, I mean, exactly as you're saying, AP25s, they got in there and they fought tooth and nail, and they were winning their one-on-one engagements. There wasn't like a guy throws flash and another guy comes around and peeks the guy that got flash. It was like, no, I'm gonna breach, I'm gonna go in, kill this guy, bada boom, bada bing, done. And then they did the exact same thing. I mean, Satrams was next to the bunkers at beach.
Yeah, base, yeah.
He just died. I mean, they jumped in. There was a scuffle, and then he was dead. And at that point, there was no one left on beach to really protect him because he got flashed.
Yeah, they just steamrolled them, really. We'll see if that works again on this map.
Yes, but this time there's a little bit of a difference. We have the auto shotty finally in play here for our
yeah, that would have
defending
been a
team.
good counter.
Yes, aggression does get stopped when your entire attacking team gets turned into Swiss cheese. It does. It's a deterrent. It's a good deterrent.
Yep. That's
But-
a good way to put it.
We do have, if you look at, let's take a look at the drawings real quick. We have 3 guys getting called for front of lobby, but there's already a barbed wire, and where's our auto shotty sitting? He's going to be sitting in loans, so as
Making the
honestly,
push through the vents hard.
as long as they bleed the attackers all the way to loans, that can be a recipe for disaster. 1 barbed wire, 1 auto shotty, you can easily kill a good 15-20 seconds, and again, you spend another 45 just getting into lobby, another 30, coming to loans. They might run out of time, but they are going to put 1 guy in vault, so it's a 5v4 off the rip.
Yeah, with the knack.
Yeah.
It seems
Okay.
It seems a bit big for a knack, but I mean, Saturns could make it work. We'll see. They're trying to push through entrance, but a lot of angles are covered there. So they're trying to make their way in. Smoked off Teller, and they got the kill on Gruber King here again. Very aggressive push, and it works out for them. The others are making their way
5v3.
slowly through those. The ultra can actually rotate it down to accounting. Scooch is trying to hold this, but Index gets the kill here again. AP25 just going in, killing man. Shooting man, I mean.
Shoot, yeah, make plan, shoot man. Easy game, easy life.
Absolutely. No, Red Frost. He's in a very bad position, and it's been taken up by man. Yeah, Sir Front. That's
and now there's 1
Sorry,
left, and
Yep,
yeah, see that's the problem with it. I mean, I don't know if that would have been a huge difference to have a 5th guy.
All right, I am back.
Out on the map, because
How's this
Gnomes
going
just
so
kind
far?
of looked at it and said, yeah, we'll just take this map now. But I don't know. I've always felt a bit iffy about having an extra guy that could be doing stuff and at
All
least
right,
slowing down the
sick.
push. But they dropped.
All right, welcome back. Well, hold on. Let me just go back here. All right, I'm back. Got me a cold one here. We don't have much time left, so that will be fine. We need to go to 2:59:59. Close enough.
Superman
Sick.
went crazy. Got like a 3-piece for this one, and then the rest of the team just kind of
3-piece?
cleaned it up. So all in all, attackers just kind of maybe finding the rhythm in this second half.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah,
that.
this is their time to shine, and I think they're starting to shine a little brighter than Eclipse. But equally, Eclipse did a good job kind of holding it off. Unfortunately, though, they were kind of outplayed in strategy there by Onu to go for the fan, go around the long side for Pipeworks, take control of the office, and just slowly kind of take on these 1v1s, win their gun battles, and just kind of do what they do best, which is killing Eclipse at the moment here. So Eclipse, you got to kind of re-strategize away from the gunfights directly and try and catch them off guard, which it's an all or nothing kind of strategy with defense, right? You don't have a lot of ways to counter back if they kind of out-counter you or out-call your
Sorry
position.
about the
So
bump in there.
it's a tough head game and tough mind game to figure out how to actually figure that out, but it's up to Eclipse to figure it out, unfortunately.
Fucking head game.
So wish them the best, but now an Operation Tide Sandwich.
Sorry, production.
I don't see the sandwich in this, but I think the tides might just turn towards Eclipse.
Hopefully. My concern though is that our boys
wasn't
don't
funny.
have their mops for this.
Wasn't
one.
funny. Why did I laugh?
Not looking
Dude, oh my god.
too crazy for lines of sights.
Who
but
let me
actually,
cook,
honestly,
man? Who let me
not
cook?
really at all. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's
figure out like
strange.
if a mop would even be all that viable, but just kind of you've got like the island. I'll say like the island of observation, but that's got a red door right there, and then you've got like the
Yeah.
southern
Get the
part of
ob zone.
jungle, on like the more right side instead of the left side because there's a door there. So you could have you can see the attackers we even talked about. You got like one guy on the stairs, but then there's
Soft
just
ramp.
a lot of this is a
There you go. Sick.
if our attacking team can systematically come in here, flashbang here, push, 2 guys push, flashbang there, 2 guys push, they should be able to clean this up.
I wish we could freaking draw what we're talking about. Like a flash here and push. The problem is he's showing his mouse on his side. He's like, yeah, there you go. Flash over here, and you push in. Man, I didn't understand what he was talking about at the time.
Because there's just so
I
many
still don't
like,
understand what
these
he's talking
little
about.
choke points that the defenders have to be aware of that the attackers could easily, numerically overwhelm.
That's
them
true.
on. But if they're not careful, it can very quickly turn.
Mm-hmm.
This map has it's called a sandwich, but I almost call it like the land of 4 islands. You got the beach, observation, the left side of jungle, and then these very spaced off areas that
Microphone.
the attacking team's gonna have to be very patient
There we
with
go.
their push.
It almost
I mean, it's. I'm not here to freaking. One thing I will not do is talk crap about other casters. Period. Like, this is more of a self-reflection than anyone else. The 4 zones thing, interesting concept. The thing is, it's weird to have an interconnect and have it a green door entrance, especially out here. like, to tear the map apart real quick, why is there a fucking green door to jungle for a fast bomb take? Why? I just does not make sense. I don't understand this. There should be a greater fight for this. Like, should be a red door, if anything.
It's just like a rat's nest, if you will. If you have these all little corners you can hide into.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, this is a fucking... I'm like, there's so many little fucking corners here and there. This is a fucking rat's nest.
You have little cubbies you can put into, just kind of camp out in the backside there and
Yeah.
just catch off attackers off guard. This is going to be Eclipse's time to shine here. If they got it in the bag and they're going to win this one, they're going to take this round. And if they don't, it's really been in the back foot for them. And at this point, I think we'll see owners fully push through and take them down. So
It's do or die. It generally, when you get into the late game, especially at this late, where it's like pretty close back and forth, 8 out of 4, so 8 out of 12, excuse me. You only got 4 rounds left. You really got to win this. Whoever's going to take the lead will win past like 9 or 10 for rounds, because at that point it's really hard to recover. Some teams do make it. Some teams do fight back, but it's when you go late round and you have a close match,
it's do or die for this team.
Do or die, absolutely.
it really is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think
It's
that's valid.
crazy to call that because even if they win this round, it'll still be 5-3. But we'll have to see how we go. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
But no.
What was that sound?
I don't know. I'm kind of like holding my breath here just because it's like, all right, this is going to be very important for the defenders to play. Very little utility. There's like one Molotov between all of them, and it is.
This
a
is a
3-2
non-utility
split,
one.
but
They're
it's
just
looking
going for
like a
guns.
primarily beach push, which I like that. But
Oh.
oh my,
There
oh
you go.
my,
That's a good start.
that's a
Marbles getting
great
the
start.
That's rough.
The Decadent's really playing it well and smart there. You're seeing Hero though on the top side looking for angles.
Decadent's playing it really well by getting fucking wrecked by Marbles. That was a missed call.
Back and forth. Marbles the closest one next to the fight here.
Oops.
Lacking just hanging out up top here. Swag clearing it out. But on the other side towards jungle, we have 2 of those attackers ready for the breach.
Mind you, they can both see
Looking
each
to catch
other,
them off
so
guard, and they are calling it really well so far. All those defenders are expecting that push. Still in base side. Here comes the red door breach. Kind of
Red Door Breach is an interesting call. Now that I'm actually seeing the
push out
POV,
to do. Oh,
I was
looks
always
like
kind of
Ambrose
confused
taken
by
out
it.
Hero on
Yeah,
the other side there in the jungle.
this is a
Defense gonna
fuck.
rotate
This is a
back, but
weird
Swag.
fucking map. Oh, Kobe! Holy shit! Who threw that?
Kind of leading
Who threw that fucking goat?
back and forth.
That's Swag.
Push out. What are they gonna do? Oh, looks like Asbo's gonna
I'm-
take it down by Hero
I know,
on the other side
Swag.
there in the
Yeah, he did. He threw it from here all the way to fucking here and got him.
Superman's gonna
Look at that.
rotate back, but
Sheesh.
Swag.
Tried to escape, but no
Wow.
escape.
Kobe. Nailed it onto Hero there.
Wow,
Swag
what a
now
play.
To the Riverside. Oh, run through back for Superman. Caught off guard there. Roby just hang out and get the kill there.
This is just like really not super in depth. It's not very exciting. This is a fucking to me. This is a weird fucking
It is
round.
down to just Dylan and Swag.
This
last
is
alive
really just
here.
all over the place.
Going to push. Onu really struggling to keep this up. Blacking still holding observation, doing a good job. Just has to keep cool. You know what's happening? Grass is going for the fight against Swag. Taking a lot of shots. Roby will come in though to support and get the kill. And it's all down to Dylan.
Nice.
That's alive here in a 1v4. This is a tough one here. Can Dylan escape? Can he come up clutch? He could go towards Riverside, but they're hearing him coming. They're going to go around the backside here. They can get the
Hearing
kill.
him coming.
Dylan will take down Roby.
Wow.
It's a good start for him, but 33 seconds remaining. He doesn't
Oh,
have
he's
time.
stuck in the jungle now,
Got a lot of
buddy.
work to do in the meantime.
Good
The
flash from
behind, trying to run
mid.
back and forth, but Marbles in a good spot.
But you
Roby
probably could
gets
use that out
low,
here a
and
little
actually
more.
Drassi, excuse me, will
Yeah,
get
that was-
final kill, tying it up 4-4.
That was tough.
Wow.
As soon as that first kill on beach hit, you could see the
Do,
entire
do,
owners
do,
team
do,
just suddenly
do,
like
do,
stop.
do,
They-
do,
the
do,
momentum
do.
just died right there, and then it turned into this like, we'll kind of push here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, we'll kind of push here. That didn't work. And yeah, I mean that as soon as that first hit, as soon as oh goodness, I think it was Marbles got that first kill.
Mhm.
Sheesh, yeah, and then they.
You know, generally, it actually was pretty bad at that point.
It turned into like a bunch of 1v1s. I mean, you saw that like the rat's nests of the different pillars of the defensive team just kind of got these crazy angles. I mean, I was waiting for Drassi to do something wild because I mean, as you'd pointed out, he saw that they were backing off, so I was expecting him to do this crazy rotate, but no, he just sat there.
This is the
and
breathing,
just
bro.
waiting for the attackers to come to them, and
I don't know what's
it's
going on with that.
4-4. I mean, Eclipse just said, "Hey, it's another day. You know, don't worry about it."
Really have, and you know, it was a good round.
What
for
was
him, on
that?
both sides. It was a good wake-up call for Onu.
I don't know what the fuck I was talking
You
about.
gotta get it.
Well, that wasn't me talking for the record. That was Ghost.
gotta
But I think that was a good analysis of a match that was pretty. It was kind of a it was a bit of a lame duck game there, or lame duck round at least, where you didn't really have anything cool happen. Like they kind of went for this interesting push, kind of failed. Defenders played it really, really well. It was a very defense heavy. I mean, this is a strange map, and like defenders played it well. Attackers tried to recover, but couldn't really do a whole lot. So they did good relative to that. But
Get it focused.
I like this
At
freaking
first
charge
it was
though.
like okay, yeah, they've been
This
doing a
is
little bit.
wild.
This is our
They
time
actually
to
did
shine.
that.
This is where we do
Yeah,
best.
no.
We're the defenders, and we're going to defend our land. And on King Foul, I think this is going to go a foul for the attacking side of all here.
Ugh.
We're
These puns are cringe, but I love it.
going to see.
I do want to point out, if you take a look at the one thing I really love about the new
gotta stop laughing at my own
scoring is you
jokes.
can actually see
I gotta write that down. That's actually cringe. Stop. Don't laugh at own jokes. This is just cringy as fuck. That's a really bad habit. I gotta break that.
which teams are winning
That's
what.
not funny.
ONU has quite literally won a 50-50
Actually not
defense,
funny.
but you can see
Like, no.
Eclipse is only really winning
Puns work
their
best if you're
defense,
just flat
which-
about it.
It's not the end of the world. They're able to stay in, but as soon as after this round, we're going to be obviously switching sides. They've got to get on the board on the attacking side. They need to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, now that they're on the last set, interestingly enough, it's a very interesting back and forth. But the problem now is Eclipse, they're an attack team, and they won their one defensive round, which means even if the other team wins all their rounds, which they won a split back and forth, which is interesting, but ultimately they won the round. They have to they play to their strong suit. As long as they don't drop their side, they're gonna win.
They are definitely struggling to get in there.
That's what's
on,
gonna happen.
The attacking side. They've really struggled to get in a lot of damage, a lot of map control. They have a generally good idea, but when it comes down to attacking, it's not just about positioning and about the kind of the brains of it all. It's about the physical gun skills. It's about getting your aim down right, getting the team rotations down right, it's about getting your middle and late game kind of attack and setup quite right. And that's a lot of things working together that have to all play together, and that's not always the case. So it's gonna be tough for them, especially against a team like ONU. That's a very, very strong lineup here. But they've got to at least win something. They cannot just totally expect to win only on defense.
Totally valid. That was actually a really good read. That was a good call. So, good job, me.
And so far, defensively,
I'm curious to see what ONU is going to be doing here with this attack round. I mean, if you take a look, they've got the torch marked for that vent spot by the vents, but then they also plan to potentially use the wall charge. So, but you got to hit the button. There's obviously two doors here for vault, so there's two different options, but someone still has to hit that button to get you guys in there. Even if you do all this, flush out and everything like that, then you still have to defuse and everything. And correct me if I'm wrong, Shark. It takes like 15 seconds, I think, or it's 10 or 11 seconds to like go for a full defuse, assuming you don't get stopped at any point.
I believe that's the case. So this is gonna be a tough one, but I don't know.
Well, again, it's going to come down to these trades. It does look like
We're just not really working well together. At this point, like, me and Ghost are kind of we're in two different little zones there, and it's like we're trying to work together on this, but it's, to me, it's very obvious that we're not quite synced up. And if you're out of sync, then you're like, it's not even an online thing. It's a person-to-person sync. Like, it's just not there right now, which makes it really freaking tough to try and work together. Again, 2 circles instead of a big square. We're 2 little circles, but our timings aren't quite synced right to where we can then pair together to make a nice, solid broadcast sound.
I think it's going to be a 3-2 entrance.
So he's doing his best, though. He's doing a great. Like, Ghost has been fantastic
So,
for this one.
Very
I'm not here to
opened up
talk shit.
space,
Like, he's doing
and our
great.
Defender's going to go ahead and Molotov, no big
Doing
deal.
sick.
But we've got these 2 sneaky lads in the vents, but they're not really doing much. They're kind of just vibing. I mean, they're planning to obviously push manager, but they still got to get to
They do be hanging out.
Hall button somehow. And okay, there's the bridge. So they're going to be going for that.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the bathroom, kind of push through the halls instead. This is an interesting approach here, but unfortunately,
I think that entire time I was like, "Give me the mic, like, because Ghost likes to talk a lot. He likes to explain things fully, which is valid, right? He wants to finish his point. I can understand that. I'm like that too in some ways. I like when I have a point like that, I want to just keep going and going and going and fully explain my point. The problem is, and sometimes in a game like this, the action will then start, or things will go, and it'll be like, it's time. Like, time to get going. Like, I need to get going here. But, anyways,
Unfortunately, the
That's on me
defenders
too.
kind of planned that out. Swag
Great
gets the kill
Molotov.
despite that. Caught lacking literally. Gets another one as well from the grave. The Molotov will do damage. Attackers have really lost a lot of strategy there.
Holy shit, they just got fucking wiped.
But ultimately, they've taken good map
That's a good
control
back and
all the way
forth, though.
around. Marble's in a good spot in security. Is facing off against 3v1. As Ruby as a backup. And of course, we have other flanks on the backside there with Drazzy tagging in there as a support. So it's going to be a lot of control here. The vault doors are opening, though. And Ruby's going to have to run inside. Looks like we have this battle 1v1 here on the bomb. Drazzy is well rotating on the backside here. But Asbo's going to rotate on the back position here. This could be super effective for the victory.
Marbles with the Marbles got that flank though.
He does. And unfortunately,
he
Asbo
closed.
takes down Drazzy. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh, two got in though.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Oh, Toby!
Oh.
Oh my God! They didn't expect him to sneak in.
Roby, my man.
Marbles.
Clutch
It's
it
all
up.
on you,
Shout outs
buddy.
to the boy.
Sheesh.
Wow, what a play here from Roby. But we still got Asbo in the
Still
fight
35 seconds. We're not done
But it's
yet.
not enough time,
here.
dude.
It ain't over till it's over. Got
He's
a
gotta
lot
This
more
is
to
not
go.
enough
Marbles.
time. Oh shit,
Well,
there's
Marbles
marbles
find him
too.
first.
Oh no.
Oh, and does he know where button is? Oh no, okay,
Don't-
we're good. We're good.
He's
All
figuring
right.
it out. Yep.
He's figuring
He's
it
got spirit.
out.
He's good. But
True.
I think
True.
after
True
we
and
cross
real.
Again, that 10-second threshold, it's over.
It's too late. It's all
And
ogre
this
now.
Might just be an Igmar save.
Could be. E?
Marbles
yeah,
trying to wall
that's
bang?
it. That's it. He would have
Yeah,
to get
there's
through
no-
two and then defuse. That's it.
Yeah.
Ain't
No,
happening.
Marbles gonna
One,
kill
though.
this.
Hold on, it ain't over yet. Asbo will clutch up, but too little too late. Gets the kill, but will
Boom,
not
goes for
survive.
dynamite.
Good try.
A good
great
gang of
job.
effort.
Couldn't quite do it all, man. Great job, though. That was just fantastic.
Dude, really well
That
played
was
though.
great heads-up play by Marbles. That was so well done. I mean, it could have been terrifying because if you notice, two of them slipped in, and it was only because of the guy on site that happened to get the two attackers that I guess they just weren't expecting a guy to be there, which is a little bit weird. But great heads-up play by Marbles to hit that vault button.
Yeah, that was just a really, really good play. They kind of hit the button, throw them off guard. They think they have it under control. You're just like, oh no, here comes the door. You're getting closed in, buddy. You're not. I'm not trapped with you. You're trapped with me. And he
Yeah, clearly he got a
the
double
floor.
for his trouble. Absolutely.
A double for his
Yeah,
trouble. I
he
love that.
cashed in real well in that vault. So
Mhm.
cashed all them checks.
Got the cash out.
Now,
Cashed in all the money.
yeah. Well, we'll have to.
Again, don't laugh at my own jokes. Fucking God, it's actually really bad.
Check out this next one here and see what it will be. What our fates will decide.
Of Anu on the defense and Eclipse on the attack, and this is going to be what I'm talking about here because we've seen Eclipse could win their defense rounds, solid, fantastic, but can they win their attack rounds? Anu has done 2 for both, so if Anu can just be a little bit creative, a little bit cheeky, they could easily drag this back. But here's the thing, though, they have to perfect it to get into either to win the match or just to tie.
That is true. It's a long battle.
It's a
here.
long claw.
Oof.
It's doable though. I mean, we obviously see that they've won 2, but it's gonna be a tough one. But let's take a look at the design here from Eclipse. What are they planning to do? It's looking like actually more or less an identical
Split
build
push.
or
Interesting call.
rollout here, going for a server farm Pipeworks push. But I would really like to know
Fucking
how
job.
our Anu boys plan to deal with this, and it almost looks like they're kind of stacking up for like an office docks sort of play. I mean, you can see like they've got the lines calling out the different
That was fun.
the different shutter doors, but and a barbed wire. Any sort of interest? Mop. Hello, Dylan. Are you really? Say psych.
Oh, he is.
Say
no,
psych
no,
right now,
it-
Dylan, because that's a big deal right there.
That is a big deal, but I could see it being effective. We saw Marbles.
Oh,
doing some good
absolutely,
early damage
absolutely.
and
In this
spotting
long
earlier.
haul above storage, yeah, that'd be huge.
I think we're going to see
Oh
something
nope, he's off.
interesting
That's
here.
XD.
Oh.
But that's fine because I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh
Because the angle that he could hold. Oh, hang on.
Oh.
I don't think he can see into pipework, so I don't know if he knows or if he really has line of sight of that. I mean, if he does watch.
Ow. I don't know if you saw that. My jaw just like cramped on me as I was just yawning. Fuck, that actually hurt a lot. All right.
Pipeworks.
So left and right dialogue was okay, or pregame. It was okay. It wasn't super in depth, but it was good enough for what we had there at the time. This is a weird situation where both teams are kind of in this like do or die spectacle. It's 10 to 12, like 10 out of 12 rounds. So either Eclipse wins this and goes to match point, or Onu ties it to bring it to then whoever's next to win or to get match point, no matter
Mop would
what.
be-
So
Oh yeah, he might see it. No, he's gonna sit there. Oh,
yeah, he's a little
oh
off.
that.
This is
If he
it's
sits
an interesting
and
call.
watches pipe, he's gonna absolutely annihilate this Eclipse team.
He has an angle for it, but I think they
Okay,
ran
yeah, he's
past by the
watching
time
it.
he got
Yeah,
set
yeah,
up. So too little, too late for that. But they do get the charge off. Doan's in a good spot now, but I'm sure they're aware they can't quite push to that one as easily as they may have expected. But let's see what the rest of these attackers can do here. Going for the push-up back and forth, going for the flash early on. We see the execution happening in server farm for now, clearing things up. No aggression there yet. One on the other side of the wall, though, so Drazzy has to be careful. They could go for the wall bang here with a knack, but I think Drazzy's going to take his time here. Clear it up slow and steadily. The other team's kind of waiting for the confirmation for it to be cleared to then go for it. They'll go for the pick.
Oh.
Does it get... Oh,
Tagged him.
does a little bit of damage, but not enough for the kill.
Yeah. I think the problem is we're oftentimes really micro, like, I don't know if it's like micro, it was not quite micromanaging, but like, we're like nitty gritty, like laser focused on like whoever's shooting at the time, especially if they're slow playing. And that often means you have a conflict of either do I build suspense in trying to show people getting set up and ready to go, or do I go for like little peaks? Because we're talking about the peaks, and they're trying to build the scene of what is going to be this big strike, right? So it's almost like a, I don't know if I'd call that like a maybe almost like a misunderstanding from the casting to production side of things, but like almost seems like we're not all fully synced up, right? We're all a little off, and it's causing like these little gaps to form. And I don't know if that's something you could work on directly as like caster, or as more or less one of those like production things where like, hey, like it could be from them to like spot, hey, like guys, like we're setting up for this, like, oh, hey, casters are setting up for this, and like have a little like, oh yeah, okay, it looks like we see the team's getting ready to go set up for this strike here. They're in position, but the problem is, as soon as we say that, we're immediately on the next thing, on the next thing, on the next thing, which means unless they somehow predict what we're gonna say and say, we can see ready to go here. They're setting up the 3 on this side, 2 on this side here. They're gonna go ready for the strike and then go in, and then they either don't go in or go slow. Unless production is already aware of what we're going to say or sees that themselves and starts to, view it. If we're not both in sync in the same like degree, we're both like working together, or instead we're kind of like off a little bit, it'll look like kind of close. It'll be like casters go in, like production's kind of like trying to follow them, but it's like they're not together. They're more like, they're not as one, they're together. So there's a little bit of degree of separation, right? They're not together. They're not as one, they're kind of together, but there's a gap. There's a little gap there. You can see it? See my nose through the gap? That gap is where you had that kind of like chase and follow thing. So how you close the gap, I think is just by like straight up synergy, which is just teamwork, and we're doing it a lot more often. This is, everybody here has probably done it their first time, or at least hasn't done it in months and months and months. So this is probably the bet. Like, considering what we have, this is probably the pretty damn good job. So I'm not trying to, this is not a dig at the production, but it's one of those like, how would you solve this? And as a challenge, it's a good question. I'm not sure if there's even a good answer relative to that question, right? I mean, there's certain ways I could see it working, certain ways I couldn't see it working. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on how you get that in sync better, other than just like having a more controlling maybe production person to like say like, hey, talk about this guy, team's setting up, or have some kind of like way to sync together, right? Because on their own, I mean, we all generally want to have the same kind of experience. We're all the same kind of viewer and production people in that sense. Like, so we're all together, but we're not as one. So to sync those together, you need someone to control the timing and to control kind of the message, if you will, of like making sure they're not together, they're as one. They're flat, not apart, but together. So you need someone to manually move them together to then line up and sync, to then work and make one continuous solid piece of media, because that could be really, really good, and that would make for an immensely entertaining and great broadcast. But that's really tough, and considering the circumstances and the situation we have here, is that going to happen? Not for this, not right now.
Just
Future, maybe. I mean, Redux is looking pretty promising, but
yet.
to each their own. And to this one, this is a fun tournament anyway, so
But
not a
still,
big deal.
slow and
So.
steady play here. Lacking marbles kind of teaming together here. Holding their sights, holding their angles
what they do.
here. Waiting for
gotta
the time
do
to strike,
something.
and there it is. There comes the push. Drazi will take down one of Superman. Lacking will take down Decadence. Going out back and forth. Dylan with the rotation. Swag trying to hold on. They're going for a back and forth. Good Molotov to hold off the push. Marbles will take down Dylan, but Swag will take down Lacking. Marbles already on the bomb. As was trying to rotate back and forth. Swag, though, gets 2. Huge plays here, back and
He wasn't getting 2. He didn't get 2. He got 1. Dummy.
forth.
Asbo got the good trade
Asbo
up.
takes down Drazi. It's all down to Roby and Marbles. Last life here. Roby on the top here. About to get the flank onto
Uh-oh.
Swag for the final kill.
Roby?
What's going to happen? He is just playing him like a fiddle. He's not ready for it. But Swag rotates. He hears both. He's expecting and aiming for both. But will Roby win the
Fighting
battle?
a 2v1.
Roby's got a little better health. Swag takes
Oh,
damage, goes for the push-up. No
holy.
Marbles. Cleans it up.
Oh.
Amazing play there. It's going to be attackers winning it. This is it, man.
There it is. Yeah,
Clips.
that's what we needed. We needed to see it.
That was all over the place. Like, match-wise, it was pretty good. It was a pretty clean match, but my casting was just all fucking over the place. So how do we improve on that? Okay. I don't know. It's not just about inconsistency. It's about comprehension of what's happening. And I didn't understand what was happening. So I ended up just kind of like slowly following it, like, 3 seconds later than what's actually happening. I don't think that's one of those, like, it's an operator error at that point. I don't see a good way of, like, how would you prevent not understanding better? Just think. And we're both. That's when I was pretty. I think we had both cast at least 2 games. No, this is my second game, so I was a little bit like, I had a pause in between there, or like a break, but still, it's like I'm in the same kind of zone now after a couple hours of almost 3 hours of broadcasting. Oh, that was really only like an hour and 2.5. I'm not sure if there's a good way to try and continue to grow or have continuous mental comprehension across multiple hours, other than just, I guess, experience and doing it more. And not just experience, but it's continuous practice is probably the great way of phrasing it. So don't stop casting. Stop casting. I think that's my takeaway from that. Is that, yes, you will, again, like any muscle, if you don't use it, you lose it. And if you don't use a skill, you'll lose said skill. So that's for me. So that means Castaway going to be a staple of this channel. I think I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. I have to figure out if I can even do that on my channel. Even this, I'm not sure about. We'll see if this VOD stays up. I might have to purge it, but I mean, this is something essential. Like, we need to keep casting tournaments and casting stuff to keep that skill up. Because in theory, I've done long freaking tournaments. Like, there was the double decker freaking EU NA Insurgency final that I did. That was 12 hours long in total. We had non-stop broadcasts. I had a co-caster for the EU NA. I didn't, because nobody wanted to cast with me. Until Link, they finally asked Link after like 10 hours, and my brain was like, team 1, and I'm just like, dude, I was so dead that like I couldn't even like make coherent words. Like, I was fucking gone, dude. But I still had the stream, still observing, mostly doing map view, a little bit of PvP or like POV of players, but like I was fucked, dude. That was a fucking shitty one. But I've got lots of notes. We'll do that one, and we'll do a little bit down. Get ready for the next one, because at some point we will need to fill that in.
Get some points.
Because that's the best way I see to try and prevent that from happening, where it's just like you're so mentally tired that you're not able to make a coherent, or you lack the understanding of the game at the time to actually coherently make a full broadcast. So it could just be that one of those, because I as much as I think I can do long endurance stuff, I'm out of practice, which means that's not going to happen, Captain.
As attackers, and that is
simple.
huge. Not only is Mop down, but a lot of the utility that the defenders
even now, like, this is probably one of the longest streams I've done all month. I think it's the longest.
put for this. They put up some big stuff, barbed wires, no flares or anything, but that Mop gone is gonna be big. That's gonna. I think that might be the killing blow here against Anu.
Anu, by the way.
Agree. This is a huge blend.
was a good dialogue there by Ghost.
Under here for Onu. They had a lot of things going right for them, but these last 2 rounds have been essential for the victory.
Yep.
And they've lost both, man. It's win or lose at the end of the day here. We're fans of both teams, but at the end of the day, you got to win your kills, you got to hit your shots, and you got to get that either defuse the bomb or stop them from doing that. And right now, Onu have just they've lost it, and they got to hold on. They got to try and go for the overtime if they can. But
they don't have a choice. It's do or die. It's match point until either a tie or overtime.
They're not going for match points to go to OT. There's no OT.
Yeah, it's.
Well, actually, no, there was OT, but it was like 4 rounds.
Opportunities to play around to kind of go for mind games.
Yep.
That's over.
Almost said head games again.
It's now
But-
either I knew they're going to come back, take this fight,
shit. Oops.
we win
Sorry
this
about that.
fight, and
That
we
was on me.
win, or it's over. You're done. It's now Eclipse looking to make their way up. So I'm excited. I was rooting for them from the beginning. I knew they're going to come back, and you know what? They've done
They're
it.
doing it. They are absolutely doing it.
Everyone rooted for Onu because Onu had a lot stronger lineup. But what's interesting is,
And they're gonna, if they win
I thought I had something interesting to say, but honestly I don't.
this round, they have absolutely earned the best of 3 finals here or best of 3 finals, but match C for the best of 3. And it does look like a quick update from the bracket. Gnomes, sadly, did lose 7-1 to Fungi Friends. So the winner of this match is gonna be going on to fight Fungi and Friends.
Well, not surprising, but still a good job
That's
to
surprising.
Gnomes.
That's surprising. That's surprising. But,
Hey,
you know,
one round.
you know,
Hey, 1 round's pretty good. I'll say that much.
that's better than me, man. That is way better than me.
That is
But
true. And I was.
let's take
Wait,
a look
was
at
it
this one
Eclipse?
because I had,
Did I get it
we
mixed
had
up?
talked about the spacing. It is a quote unquote sandwich, but really it's the land of the 4 islands, and it's
the
looking
4 island
like our
things again.
attacking team is going to be going for observation. I like this strat, and here's why. Obviously, observation you can see out to the rest of the map. It's going to clear
All right.
out
Unrelated. My jaw's good.
base and river for more or less free, and that'll also give them a chance. One thing that I really liked, and I kind of criticized it in the last round, where we saw them kind of just stack up and pause in factory, and I was like, hey, you guys good? You pushing? They get observation, they can look around, they can take a second, go, all right,
What are they
where
gonna
do we
do?
need to go from here, and get that second phase of the attack going. Bomb is in the middle of jungle, so as long as they can really clear the 2 kind of like giant islands, if you will, next to Bomb, they will be in phenomenal spacing, and with their ability to kind of rotate in the river and watch an angle there, or potentially, watch an angle from the observation door, they can definitely challenge these guys to get it going. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-2 for a beach observation push.
That was amazing from Ghost. Thumbs up. Like, couldn't have called it better, man. Ghost is always making great stuff.
Yeah, they're going to. They're not beaching it all on their side there, but actually going to commit without observation push here with the support of Marbles and Drazzy in Beach to kind of hold off the pushes as need be from jungle or from pit even. So they're going to have to kind of clear things up here slow and steadily. They're so far not giving anything just yet, other than that they're in Beach. But Marbles will get the pick early on the Decadence. That's a good sign of things to come. But they still have a long way to go. Good grenade there to clear out.
That was an interesting one. It didn't make sense. Like, the energy, it was like, good way to go. So, like, but then it didn't really go anywhere. It didn't, like, go up or flat.
Out the barbed wire. Swag about to take a flash in the face here. Here comes the Molotov to hold off the push, but no,
Great
Roby and
Molotov.
Lacking will run through. They are still alive by the fair side. They're in a tough spot. Let's keep shooting back and forth, but ultimately Lacking will get that kill onto Swag. We do see slowly down on the bottom there. Movement from defenders. Super nice pick onto Lacking. Ain't lacking anything now. We do see on the bottom side though, in pit, push up from Drazzy coming in big here. This is going to be a surprise for him. Are they ready for it? Interesting smoke.
All right.
Good
Oh, that was actually
push up back and
perfect.
forth
Wow.
here. Dylan in a good spot on the bottom side, but we do still have Superman in position.
Drazzy
No one
strongly
can
sees
see
Dylan
it.
in that position right now.
Yeah, he's
can
definitely
see
giving away,
through
but
the
Superman
window.
doesn't even matter. Superman will still get the kill on the Marbles.
Power's off,
Drazzy's
though.
still holding
Interesting.
on. Roby battling back and forth here on the bomb side. It's dangerously close for both teams, but who is going to take this? Here's going to be called to rotate back on the other side. Dylan going back and forth here. Drazzy, 1v1. Who's going to take this? Oh, but
Dylan's
no,
trapped.
on the other
The
side.
attackers
it's
just
a
need to start
trade.
defusing. Force him out.
Yeah, Dylan's now the last one
Oh,
alive
there it
here.
is.
And there
There it
is
is.
the conclusion. At the end of the day, Onu putting up a good fight, but it is the teamwork
What is
and
that
the
clapping
communication and the
sound?
coordination of Eclipse to come out on top, make the stars align, and eclipse their victory toward the final.
Well done
I dig that. That was actually a really good conclusion to wrap up.
for them. I mean, Eclipse did a phenomenal job. I was concerned about their ability to adapt, and
It was a good
you know,
play.
They
Good
managed
read.
to find it. They were able to find their rhythm. They figured out what Anu was about, and eventually just brought it back. Well done, and congratulations to Eclipse. Now, off to fight a best of 3 against Fungi and Friends.
That is going to be a tough project here. After a lot of battles back and forth here, they are in an interesting position.
Oh.
Interesting
There's my fugly at. This fucking guy.
communication. Interesting
Oh,
ultimately,
goes.
opportunity, if you
Opportunity, if you will. Fucking hand pogging so hard.
will, to be fighting against one of the greatest teams and greatest lineups here in due process in ages. And I think it's going to be FNF is the easy call to make. I think the hardest call is to say, you know what, Eclipse, they've got something going on, and they're going to bring it back in for the win here. It is a best of 3, so they have some room to move back and forth. So both teams are not totally out if they do lose the mind games early on. But now, with it all
Damn. Shades off.
being said,
Oh, what can I say, man? I guess I'm just really shady.
I got to ask your thoughts. What do you think about the last match we just saw?
The last match we saw, I think that was just a game of
What is that? I don't know what this means.
Onu came in with a lot more control in the early game for sure. The difference though was that Eclipse was able to eventually kind of adapt. I challenged them about their ability to adapt. Onu seemed to be a step ahead, but Eclipse did a very good job at recognizing the style and recognizing that flexibility. But they stopped. They actually started doing more of those skirmishes, which I was really concerned about them because they weren't really winning those trades initially. But for however they managed to do it, I don't know what they can do. But man, they knew exactly what they needed to do in those the 2v1. They started doing 2v1s. They started doing more flashes. They started to kind of redevelop how they were engaging Onu, and it worked out phenomenally. I mean, as we saw, they ran back like 4 or 5 defense games, which, you know, especially on the more advanced levels of due process, usually it's like, all right, how many attacks are we gonna win? Okay, it's a 3
Why am I bobbing my head?
3-0, 3-0, 3 2-1. Like, oh my god, you got a defense round? Like, holy cow!
That's dumb.
Okay, we got something. You know, where in this it was a bloodbath back and forth.
Bro.
But we saw the consistency
What is okay, look, what the fuck am I doing here, dude?
of Eclipse start to
Who let me cook?
show up and really get that W that they needed. So I'm
KKW.
rooting for them. I'm terrified for them because it's only gonna get harder. You know, it doesn't get easier when you're fighting against, you know, again, Kazo and Sachi are the first 2 that came to mind. I was trying to find the rest of the roster for Fungi and Friends, but good luck, Eclipse. I hope you the best. I'll be rooting for you in chat.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, this has been one hell of a day, one hell of
Oh my god. POV, actually no
a
glasses.
game, and I think at this point we're ready for the finals. So after a quick little break here, where we get everything lined up, all the bells and whistles cranked together in a good position, we will begin the grand final here on, of course, the Redux Network. You are watching the Redux Rumble. We'll be right back.
Why did I skip my own fucking section? I don't know.
Bands sponsored by all the bells and whistles cranked together in a good position. We will begin the grand final here on, of course, the Redux Network. You are watching the Redux Rumble. Make plans, shoot mans, sponsored by and basically made by the Redux Network. Thank you all for watching. We are not done yet. We have the grand final coming up very soon. Be sure to stick around. We will be right back.
That was an okay outro. That was kind of mid. I don't know. Like outros, I'm usually pretty good at it, but it was the format of the name is also kind of weird. From the like, usually it's like league match, the dome. This is what's up next. I was like, it was a strange one back and forth. So, anyways, that is it for game 1, and I think that's gonna be it for today's broadcast. I am. My brain is kaput. Not alcohol related. I'm just really tired from this week. Work has been very stressful, and my brain is just like it's totally gone mid. Tomorrow I have the watch thing planned. I'm not sure if I'm doing that at this point. I want to do it, but I can barely just like I don't know, man. Maybe. If I'm not super tired, yes. If I am and I'm just like brain dead, I might just play something easy. What you may ask is a good question. Oh shit, I didn't even have Steam booted. Maybe like Fishing Planet or something. Something chillax. I can just sit there and shoot the shit, drink some beer, hang out, have a good time. Obviously not fucking Apex or anything hardcore. I do want to do more Jalopy next week. I kind of want Jalopy to be like a Friday thing. It'd be kind of fun because I do want to get the game. I'll eventually do want to do like an entire endurance stream where we go from start to end zone to start zone in one stream, which is going to be about 7 hours, 8 hours probably. It depends on how things go. Either it's going to go really, really well and it's going to be super easy and it'll be like 4 hours, or it's going to go to shit and it's going to be like 8 hours. I don't know. I've done it once with a full upgraded car and it took me about 5 hours, I think. The thing is, you still have to go places and like, you still need tires, you still need gas, you still need to set up things. So, yeah, we'll see about that if we do go for that. Well, we'll someday do that, but not in the near future. Big thanks to Solaric for letting me cast and for being a really awesome dude and for making a really fun broadcast that was fun to do. So it was super awesome. If you like his stuff, be sure to check him out on Twitter and I don't know about Facebook, but Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. He streams mainly on Twitch. I think right now he's doing production on some Rocket League events. So let's see what he's doing. Yeah, he's doing Rocket League right now. Format looks a little similar. But yeah, he does a lot of Rocket League stuff. It's super good. I believe it's for university stuff, so pretty cool. But anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Oh, Sylvia. S15 in Rocket League. That's sick. Oh my god, S15. That's it. That's the S13. I forget. Is that the cookie front? I think so. Anyways, that trip aside, thank you all for watching. Big thanks to Lark. Thank you for the viewers here today. And thanks to you for listening. I've got some notes to work on and some things to practice. Casting on the weekends is going to come back. Cast away. Figure out a way to do that. We're going to make it happen. Even if we're just casting over freaking silent gameplay, we'll figure something out. Okay? I guarantee there's stuff out there to cast. So, you will figure that out. But, yeah, it's going to come up either this week or next week. No, next week for sure, or the week after, maybe. Something will be casted. Okay. That's it for me today. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed what we saw today or what you had. So, we'll just pick a good track to end it on. We'll pick this guy. Go over to here. And click the little button. See you around.